And we also have a mint green color. So add this to your cart.
You can get this hat, but you cannot get this shirt.
I like that shirt.
This is a one-off.
It is?
Yep. Made this myself.
Nice. Oh.
Yep.
Maybe we should sell it.
Maybe we should. Maybe coming next year. Next summer. Summer of 2025. When we come back, we've got trash for you today. The show being brought to you by the great folks at Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com, and by that's Sterling and the crew. Great food there for you at lunch and everything. But also by our friends at Lanyas.
Yes.
We were talking couches earlier. Great place to get couches and a lot more. Our longtime friends at Lanyas.
Yep, Lanyas Furniture. We believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, entertainment, and mattresses. Lanyas can also help you with your home design and decorating. A 3-week event is coming up with store-wide savings driven by hot buys with price and products to play on the summer theme. Transform your home into a beautiful escape with new furniture and decor pieces. From vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents, Lanyas has everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Bring the sun inside with Lanyas Furniture. Save up to 10% off store-wide or special financing, plus tons of hot buys throughout the store. Also get up to $300 in Lanyas sleep credits and with select mattress purchases or special financing available. From Birmingham, take exit 280 off of I-65. Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles, and Lanyas is on your right.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090. hemphillservices.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Take the Next Round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, look who's back. It's me and Lance. We're back. Rockstar, we're back.
I see it.
Vacation
How
is
was
over.
y'all's vacation?
It was
Y'all
phenomenal.
Parasail and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I did not see one. You know, I was on the beach all week, and I did not see one parasail.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they just, I guess they really don't do it on 30A, because, you know, we go back and forth between Floribama, and you see a lot of parasailing there.
I did it once. Actually, Jennifer and I did it on our honeymoon, and
I got no desire to do it.
parasailing.
I heard it's like really overrated.
Yeah, I wasn't that blown away by it. Like when you get up there, like from the shore, it looks like you're kind of moving, right?
Yeah.
But when you get up there, it's almost like you're just floating. There's like no sense of forward motion, and it'll kind of jerk, you know, when they hit a wave or whatever. It was overrated for me.
Yeah, it just it doesn't look fun to me. I also didn't see any of the. I used to love as a kid, you know, like $39 limited crab legs. You know, the advertisements that would just go over nonstop. And I mean, really, it was like 4 or 5 planes that would just pull these all day long. And I thought it was really cool. It was nostalgic, but you never see that anymore.
No, you're right. You're right. He is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Rockstar, Forrester, Tyler, Lunceford, everybody here today, except for Jim Dunaway, who is on vacation now. It is vacation season for us, so rotating some vacations around. Dunaway dressed in the nextround.store gear, nextround.store to get all of your official Next Round gear. He will be back with us on Monday. We've got a lot to get to today. Coming off a weekend, we'll get your best and worst of the weekend. U.S. Open, NBA Finals go back tonight. College World Series, our 40 and 40 team. A lot to cover, but it's good to be back in the seat. I was in Texas. You were in Florida. It was hot where I was. I assume it was hot where you were.
It wasn't nearly as hot as it. I mean, it's as hot as Satan's balls here this weekend.
Really,
I mean,
boys.
I couldn't believe getting back in town on Friday, how different the heat was from the coast to here. And, you know, you get that nice little breeze, but it only touched 90 like one day. And what do we get? When you and I were doing the Folds of Honor Budweiser Clydesdale remote Saturday afternoon at Soho Social in Homewood, I can't tell you what it had to be 100 degrees in that parking lot until it started raining.
Yeah, and that's the problem is like it rains, you're like, that cooled it off. And then here in the South, that cloud disappears just like that. You're back to sunshine, and then the humidity is like 7,000%. Yeah.
I just heard Emily, Grace, and Taylor talking about a wedding this weekend that was outdoors, and it started raining. Can you imagine not only the heat, but coming back wearing a suit in that rain?
I've been outside wedding in August once, and it was incredibly hot. And this was in Birmingham. No, it was in Anniston. Outside wedding in August. Whew. It might have been outside reception. I think the wedding was inside, but the reception was outside.
You can't do the outside. Woo. You know, our buddy Chief, his daughter got married on Pickwick like 2 or 3 summers ago.
Right.
And I'll never forget him calling me on that Saturday morning, you've got to wear a suit. And I was like, there is no way people are wearing suits sitting outside of Pickwick.
No, that's got to be the thing.
And he's like, my wife said you've got to wear a suit. So I end up wearing a suit, and I'm one of 3 that have suits on.
Yeah.
And everybody else got the open collar, and they're sweating a little bit, but not like me.
Oof. I didn't mention the Stallions and the whole rundown of everything we'll get to the Stallions. So Skip Holtz may be with us. Dan Wetzel is definitely with us. Dan will be on at 10:25. We'll talk about everything, the NBA Finals, the U.S. Open, all of that with Dan. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the U.S. Open? What do you want to start with?
Yeah.
So Bryson DeChambeau conquers Pinehurst, 6 under par. Rory McIlroy in a painful meltdown. All right, so let me give you, and I only bring this up just to be like, I still couldn't believe it, and I knew it. I knew how it turned out. I played golf with my dad yesterday for Father's Day, and I was following just the score updates. I wasn't watching or anything, and I had a DVR at home, and I'm like, yeah, if something crazy happens, I'll go back home and, catch up on DVR and see what happened, right? See how it finished. And then I start seeing, Rory, another birdie, Rory, another birdie. And I'm like, holy crap, McIlroy is tearing apart the back nine.
He was crushing it.
He was. And I'm like, God, Rory McIlroy is finally going to get that next major. Decade of major losses, so many close calls for Rory's finally going to get it. And then I see bogey, par, bogey. And I'm like, holy crap, he melted down. So I go back home and watch it on DVR. And I'm like, I don't know how he does this. Like he's 3 feet from the hole. I'm like, there's no way he's going to miss this putt.
It's one thing if he catches a bad break and lands at a bunker, hits a bad tee shot, which he did on 18. Was weird because Bryson and Roy basically had the same sequence on 18.
They did, yeah. Both left in the waist area.
You know, on 16, he misses one inside of 5, and then on 18, I mean, just so painful. And can you tell me somebody that has been so dominant for basically a decade without winning a championship?
No, it's hard to think of that.
I mean, right now, where is he world rankings?
Official world rankings, I would guess Rory.
Top 5, right?
I guess he's second behind Scotty Scheffler. If you'll give me 2 seconds, I'll give you the official world golf rankings as we speak. He is second behind Scotty Scheffler. Xander Schauffele is third.
I mean, that's hard to be a top 5 guy for a decade and not win one of these.
Yeah, and now obviously the LIV players aren't involved in this because I would say DeChambeau is going to be pretty high in this
Probably, which I thought was really interesting. I heard him referenced as LIV Golf League captain, Bryson DeChambeau. I'm sure the PGA Tour loves that.
Oh, yeah.
I know there was, the link to Payne Stewart, and he played at SMU, and, he always wore the Payne Stewart hat and the knickers for a little bit. But do you think there was some relief for Bryson also because of the LIV PGA?
Maybe so. Split? I don't know. There was some underground drama in this yesterday. If you don't follow golf at all, like if you were just, I'm at home on Father's Day, what's going on TV, and you turn it on. The under the surface drama a little bit that I don't know how much they talked about because I didn't watch any of the front 9. I just shuttled through the back 9 and watched to see how Rory actually melted down. 2 things. Number one, you had the LIV PGA. Rory has been the face of the PGA Tour until recently and has been very outspoken against the LIV. And then you got Bryson, who's, was one of the pelts that the LIV got early, right? So you had that drama. And then Rory McIlroy and Patrick Cantlay do not like one another. And they were paired together in the final round. So for Rory, there was a lot going on right there. And then, coming off his divorce got called off. We're back together. I mean, just a lot around Rory there.
Yeah, and for him,
the meltdown.
And I was going to say, for him to be able to keep it together really until 16. But, man, the magnified pressure on that.
Yeah.
You hate it for Rory if you are a Rory fan.
Yeah, and a lot of people are. He's probably the most popular golfer in the world.
I'm completely indifferent to him. I hated to see him miss that putt. Much like Bryson, I think you and I kind of agree. He's had this image makeover.
There's no doubt he has.
And Bryson was a hard guy to like the last time he won one of these in 2020. And it's pretty amazing, just the physical makeover, where he went from such a bulked up guy and winning a championship and struggling a little bit and then coming back and winning one with a different body altogether.
Is Scott, are you suggesting a landmine there? That is a yes. Scott is suggesting a landmine.
Oh, it absolutely happened.
Yeah. So at what point? So 4:21 was when Dunaway sent that.
Oh, wow. That was about an hour before.
Yeah, Rory is probably on about 14 or 15 at that time. So for those that can't see it, Dunaway tweets, I hope Rory is filling the U.S. Open crowd right now. I believe the cheers are louder because of his defense against LIV. # U.S. Open. Poor Rory.
Boy.
Never saw it coming.
Roy did not need that.
Bogey 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, I don't know how he lost that because I'm with you,
I really
man.
don't.
The way he was playing early on.
Lance, I knew he lost it, and I knew he had bogey 3 of the last 4, and I go back and I watch it, and I'm like, how does he miss this putt? And then it's on 18, and I'm like, did I miss a shot on 18? This is a kick-in.
Well,
this is a kick-in for par.
I will say for both Bryson and Rory, and even Finau and Cantlay, I mean, those guys, they played incredible golf this week because if you've got a guy in Bryson that wins this thing at 6 under, and then you look on the back end of guys that made the cut, some of the scoring down there.
Oh, terrible.
You had a guy at 20 over, 18 over, 17 over, 2 guys at 16 over. I mean, the numbers were terrible on this course.
Yeah, I know. It's a very, very difficult course.
But it's more exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Like it?
Well, you get to...
It's not one of my favorites.
Well, you get to 16, though, and you're like, damn, anything could happen.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. There's no coasting home.
Yeah, double bogeys are not out of the question.
No. There is no coasting home by any stretch of the imagination. And you'll talk about the meltdown, but what should not be forgotten was the shot Bryson hit there on 18 out of the bunker. That on a Thursday on a regular PGA Tour, that is a crazy hard shot. With the U.S. Open pressure on you, and that's an incredible shot.
Yeah, 55 yards, came, 4 feet within the pin?
Hardest shot in golf, the long bunker shot. Yeah. Even for pros. I mean, like a tour pro would tell you that.
You could tell, though, that Bryson knew at that point he had won.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. He's like, I ain't missing that putt after I had a shot like that. Now, had he seen, I guess he stood there and watched Rory miss his. So that was the funny thing, though, is like Rory misses that putt, and you're like, well, Bryson's got this. And the next thing is they cut to Bryson, and he's leaned under a branch to try to swing. You're like, well, maybe he doesn't have it.
Yeah, and so was it a magnolia? I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like a magnolia, yeah.
But when the club was coming back, it took him a long time to actually hit the shot because there were so many different things. He was dealing with that root.
Oh, yeah, everything. Yeah, all the above. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But you can't hit the root, right?
If you hit the root, you're going to screw your arm up.
You're going to
break a wrist. Yeah.
But in your backswing, you can technically hit the tree.
You can, but it is going to screw you up bad. And that was what it was. One of the analysts made the point is like you never hit it in your practice swing, and you're like, oh, I'm okay. But then in your long swing, you're like, I got to hit this a little bit further. And then in your actual swing, you hit the tree, and then now you're all.
Smiley that made the point?
I think so. Yeah. Whoever it was, they were right about that. Like any golfer has done that. Like if your buddies make you play from out from under a limb or something like that, you're, oh, I'm good, and then you swing and you hit the limb, and now you're all screwed up. But very exciting finish. Bryson DeChambeau. We'll talk some more about that with Dan Wetzel because I can't think of many people that have made their image over more than he has. Like have gone for the guy everybody hated to the guy that was the crowd favorite yesterday.
So there was a guy about this time last year that was doing the exact same thing in Aaron Rodgers.
A little bit, yeah.
When he got to the Jets camp, it seemed like it was a different Aaron Rodgers, not nearly as arrogant.
There you go.
And you just wonder if they've got would you be surprised if both of them are rep by CAA and both of them have the same firm that comes in and redoes the PR altogether?
Yeah, it wouldn't blow me away at all. And it's not the dumbest thing because it only leads to endorsements and things like that, right? But he is definitely undergone an image change. There's no doubt about it. So a lot to get to. We'll get to your best and worst as well. It is presented by Hemp Hill Services. That's who brings us best and worst every week.
Yeah, trust the name Birmingham's trust since 1954. Our friends at Hemp Hill, whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Tyler says DeChambeau pulled the classic babyface turn. Different Tyler says Bryson hired a PR firm to revise his image. He's a dweeb and should not be liked. I don't think he's a smart guy. I mean, he's just he approaches it from a scientific and mathematics point of view that a lot of people don't really approach it from that same way. I mean, it's obviously he's extremely talented. You don't get there without being talented. But he's just a little more.
I'm watching that bunker shot right now on 18. That's amazing.
Where you would have either left into the bunker, and me too, by the way. Left into the bunker or hit the clubhouse with it. What do you think?
Well, I hadn't hit a golf shot in 5 years, 6 years, so probably just would have whiffed altogether.
You just don't even make contact. Landmine Believer says, was yesterday as bad as Rory's meltdown at Augusta in 2010? No, that one was worse.
Yeah,
because that one started on 10, and
you had
to watch the whole back nine.
And he was trespassing, wasn't he?
No, he hit it up in a cabin. Yeah. He was playing it out of a backyard. So
do you think Roy's going to win another one? I mean, the easy answer is yes, but
he's in the hunt for all of them.
But man, I mean, and you know how mental this game is. These guys are all super talented, obviously.
Yeah, it's just the opposite of what he normally does. Like what Rory normally does is
plays his way back into it.
He gets a backdoor top five. Yeah, shoots a 62 on Sunday to get a backdoor top five. I don't know, is he ever going to be able to put the 4 rounds together again that it requires? Yes, I would bet on him. He's just too dang good, man. Like, is it going to blow you away if he goes and wins the British?
No, not at all. And he's one of those guys, seems like if he wins another one, then he might have 2 or 3 more in him.
Yeah. I think he'll win another one. And, he could get to 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever that number is. I think he'll win another one. He's just too good. And
look at that right there. Most top 10 finishes. We're looking at the graphic on ESPN. He's got 21 top 10 since 2015 with 0 wins.
Yeah, that's in majors.
That's insane.
I mean, just think about that. 21 top 10 finishes in majors. Now,
so he's probably made more on tour since 2015 than anybody.
Oh, I would guess, yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't blow me away. I mean, a lot of those now are backdoor top 10s. To be fair, those are not like he was in contention all week. Those are like he shot 63 on Sunday.
I mean, this money
passed a ton of people.
It's just so massive. I mean, DeChambeau, for his share to be $4.3 million is crazy. But just cracking the top 10, you split. I mean, there were so many guys tied. $502,000. I mean, these guys are making a lot for top 10.
That ain't bad, is it?
No.
So we'll talk some more about that coming up. Here's some best and worst, as Lance mentioned, presented by the good folks at Hemp Hill. Best, the Cars Tribute in Trussville Entertainment District. All right. Worst, not having the UFL Championship on Sunday night. They played it at 4 o'clock.
It didn't make any sense.
Thought process behind that?
There
was no NBA Finals. There was no, the U.S. Open ends at dark, obviously. College World Series, but I don't know. It was weird. I don't know why Fox did that.
Didn't make any sense. And especially with the heat.
Yeah.
I kept thinking for a second, if this game is, what was the temp?
They were in the Dome. They were at St. Louis.
But can you imagine if it was
in
San Antonio or Birmingham?
Yes. Yeah, that would not have felt good. So I don't know why they didn't play it, but the Stallions
That was a tough game to watch, too. I don't know if you watched it.
I did not watch it play. 25-0.
Was 23-10 on the UFL season, and I couldn't get the championship game. I had I bet against Skip Holtz.
Oh, no. Yeah. Not in a championship game.
I know. I should have known better, man.
In a UFL championship game, Skip Holtz is untouchable.
The Brahmas 0.
Yeah. Scott told me before the show that was the first shutout of the entire UFL season, which sucks for Fox that you get your championship game for whatever reason at 4 o'clock and you get the first shutout of the entire season.
Oh, it was a terrible game.
25-0, the Stallions win. It's never going to go down in any sort of discussion about great dynasties, and it shouldn't. But this is pretty remarkable what they have been able to do in basically 2 leagues. It's not just, all right, USFL, we got the best roster, but then they combine leagues and they still got the best team.
With 4 or 5 different quarterbacks?
Yeah.
You're talking about this year, one of the big narratives coming into the 2024 NFL season will be, can the Chiefs three-peat? Because have we ever seen that in modern Super Bowl history?
You've had the Dolphins win back-to-back. You've had the Cowboys win back-to-back.
The Steelers have won back-to-back.
Steelers.
Patriots, obviously, they've won 3 and 4.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's ever three-peated, no.
But, the main reason will be because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And this is just one of those weird situations. As you said, man, there's a lot of roster turnover. It's multiple leagues. You've got a bunch of different quarterbacks. But, if there ever was a USFL, UFL Hall of Fame, Skip Holtz is your man.
He's your first ballot guy, right?
He's won 87% of his games. He's undefeated in the postseason, 6-0.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because, again, all right, like I said, in the USFL, maybe they just had the best roster. Maybe they screwed the roster up, when they placed players and somehow Birmingham got the best roster. Okay, fine. But to your point, he's done it with a handful of quarterbacks, not like he just got the best quarterback and kept him. He's changed out quarterbacks. And then they got a whole new league, and he's only lost 1 game in that league. So you can't just say, well, the roster was set for him. He's doing something right. Obviously, Skip Holtz is coaching this thing the right way, but congrats to them, man.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the MyBookie chat talking about, will Skip get an NFL job? I think he's totally content where he is. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But Skip is now 60 years old, which, in college years now, you look at Saban, if Skip give you another decade, I don't know what the future of this league is.
I don't either. I guess, Fox owns it. They seem, I guess they're happy with the numbers they're getting. That's what determines this, right? Is if Fox is like, yeah, we're getting the TV numbers we want, and ESPN, they've got the combo ownership or whatever now. I don't know. I don't know what the future of this league is. I would think Skip Holtz, I don't even know, is he offense or defense? Like if he were to go to the NFL, he'd be an offensive coordinator, right?
Yep.
That would seem like the more natural progression. But, heck if I know. I don't know what he's going to do. But I know he can win some USFL games. 22, 23, and 24. They are the champions. Every single year.
And that's one of those guys, people say Lane Kiffin born on third base.
Yeah.
When you look at, and obviously Skip had the benefit of his father and had all of those connections. But this dude grinded. He started in 1987 as a grad assistant at Florida State, wide receivers coach for Colorado State, wide receivers coach, then offense coordinator at Notre Dame. Then he got his first job at UConn, South Carolina, East Carolina, South Florida, La Tech, and then the Stallions. The guy has grinded.
Yes, he really has. This is one of the best jobs he's ever had, actually, the Stallions coach.
Well,
when you look at some of those head coaching jobs he had.
Yeah, it's by far, obviously the
I don't know what the money
the results.
Is like.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think he's making a couple $100,000, $400,000 maybe.
Yeah, $500,000. I have no clue what they're paying coaches in that league.
And if anybody's got job security, it is Skip Holtz.
And doesn't have to recruit. Doesn't have to deal with guys getting arrested by and large.
As I look at his Louisiana Tech, what do you remember most about his Louisiana Tech? Do you remember what kind of job would you say A to F or F to A?
I'd probably go B-. It seems like he was a 7 or 8 win coach there.
Okay, so first year 4-8, then 9 wins, 9 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins. And then you get to 2020, you got to throw that out the window. He goes 5-5. And he still goes to a bowl game.
Yeah, that's not bad, but I never really count that against anybody.
And then he pulls a 3-9 and he gets fired. What was
they looking for?
And I'm sure we probably were sitting here saying, yeah, it's gotten stale. Probably need to get rid of him. But maybe just after one bad year coming out of COVID, no telling how many people transferred.
Yeah.
It was a completely different roster. And maybe he's just, just heating up at the twilight of his career.
Well, let's see what has happened after him, because Sonny Cumbie is the current coach there, in case you didn't remember that one. I had to look it up myself.
Yeah, I don't think Louisiana Tech has done anything.
Louisiana Tech is 3-9 and 3-9 their last 2 years.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you fired Skip for.
I don't know. You're right. In hindsight, he did a lot better at La Tech than I would have thought.
I think at La Tech it probably is. I don't want to say an A job, but it's
pretty close. I bet you they'd take 10 wins today and not ask a single question.
I bet they take 7 and 6.
Yeah. Best of the weekend from Doug in the MyBookie chat room. The College World Series unbelievable games on Friday and Saturday. That Tennessee-Florida State game was insane.
We ran into one of the resident Florida State fans around here on Saturday at the Folds of Honor, and he
was still hurting.
Couldn't get over the loss. And he told me, he's like, we ain't got enough pitching to take down Virginia. And, of course, they took down Virginia.
Of course.
And they still got an opportunity. But, man, that game had so much drama. You had a guy that had hit for the cycle in the 6th inning.
And wasn't done either, by the way.
Yeah.
Came back, got another double after that.
Just crazy. You've had, A&M robs a home run.
Yep.
You've got a Kentucky walk-off. I mean, there was just so much going on.
Yeah, no, it has been a fantastic tournament.
And more games today.
More games today. 1 o'clock, NC State and Florida, and an elimination game. And then the night game, Kentucky and Texas A&M to advance to the winner's bracket there. And Tennessee's in the winner's bracket on the other side.
Scotty's saying Christian Moore is the guy we're talking about.
Oh, he's a stud. Or he was the other night.
Yeah.
Had the cycle already secured in the 6th inning and then came back up, was it in the 8th and had the double, or the 9th and had the double? I mean, that guy was tearing it up.
And so Tennessee looking to become the first number 1 overall since Miami in 1999. All they've got to do is beat the winner of Florida State, North Carolina, and
they're
best
in.
of 3.
That's right. And Florida State is.
And I really don't think you want to play Tennessee in a best of 3.
Oh, I don't either. I think they're obviously the best team, and boy, they can hit the ball. All right, so that's just the tip of the iceberg. We got a lot to get to. We'll continue with your best and worst of the weekend. You can join us at 205-734-0923, 734-0923. 205 area code on that. A reminder, Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Life can knock you down sometimes when you're doing things you love, like pickleball, golf, or even things you hate, like yard work or a workout. Well, if you pull, twist, or break something, let Precision Sports get you back on track. Get your appointment now, precisionsportsortho.com/2024 to find a location near you, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. More of your best and worst on the next round after this.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at scottforestertv.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Our friends at Lanyas Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Lanyas offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Lanyas sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Lanyas has to offer you.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
We continue on the next round. Forrester says don't sleep on A&M, by the way, if they end up in that 3-game series with Tennessee. I mean, the odds tell you it's going to be an all-SEC final. The odds say that. I'm not saying it's 100% going to be that way, obviously. But, boy, the odds tell you it is.
Boy, how different would it be, though, if Florida State didn't get squeezed at the plate?
I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, you don't want a game to end on a check swing call. I mean, if he win, he win. I mean, I know you don't want it to end that way, but it's got to end that way if it actually happened. I don't know. I mean, in real time, I thought the guy went. And then when I watched the replay, I'm like, boy, I tell you, that one is a tough one to call. Did you feel like on the check swing?
Even before that, though, there were.
Oh, their bullpen was awful. They should have never been in.
But
that
I'm
situation.
saying they were squeezing Florida State on.
Yep.
Some of the non-strike calls, and of course we had again resident Florida State fan showing me. This is the major league umpire graph. This is where the pitches were.
Right.
I was like, I really don't care, but that does suck for you. There it is.
Scott is showing us a photo of the check swing, and that's the down the third baseline photo.
Pretty amazing that he could hold up right
Boy,
there.
I'm telling you.
But that looks
like a swing to you?
Yeah, probably. Like
I
to
don't
know where
know
the plate is.
I mean, look, I agree you don't want the game to end that way. Nobody wants the game to end on a check swing call. But again, if the call is the call, you got to make it.
I don't think anybody wanted the game to end.
No, that's true. I wanted to play. Yeah,
Tennessee.
I wanted to play extra innings. Like I thought that's what we were going to get until Tennessee, walked it off. But I mean, in real time, I was like, "Oh, he 100% swung." And then when I watched, I was like, "I think he swung," but crap, I don't know.
That's a tough call, man.
It is. The third base umpire, man, when he's got to make that call, or the first base umpire, I'm just like, they flash down there, and like 95% of the time, you feel like they're just going to give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Ross is a Alabama. I know he's an Alabama or Auburn fan. He says anyone but Tennessee, please. They haven't had baseball fans, or they didn't have baseball fans 3 years ago. Very obnoxious baseball fan base. That coming from our mybookie.ag chat room. They are the team to hate, right?
Yeah. Vitello is a polarizing guy.
I did see a press conference with him.
Oh, when he was talking about
after the Super Regionals, maybe.
Yeah, and he was talking about the kid from Evansville?
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was incredible. I mean, that was like very I don't know, man. I was drawn to it, and it was like a 2 or 3, 4 minute press conference, but man, he was really, really good.
No, he was fantastic. I don't know if you guys played that on the show while we were gone, but I mean, basically, Vitello was like he called his last name. He's like, I don't even know his first name. I just know when we watched him on tape, he scared us to death.
Yeah.
The guy could do everything. And
I think it was one of their outfielders.
Yeah, it was. It was their center fielder. And then he was like, he said, he's not going to Omaha. Who cares? He can catch a flight to Omaha. That guy is a warrior.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what he is? He's the guy that had to get stitches and dislocated his shoulder and still played the next game.
Vitello's one of those guys, if he's your guy, you love him.
Yeah. And then you hate him, and you see something like that, and you're like, I do respect that. I like that part of him. There's this rumor, as is brought up in the chat room, in the MyBookie chat room there, that he's going to Texas as soon as the season's over.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, that has been out there for a couple of weeks now.
I've always said SEC money is kind of SEC money.
Yeah.
And if you can win a championship at a place, why would you not stay there? But boy, the Texas baseball job, that seems like a big time job.
Yeah. Would you say the check swing is the block charge call of baseball?
It is.
I mean, it does feel like a crapshoot every time, right?
And probably the holding in
football, like there's holding on every play. You just got to decide if you're going to call it or not.
Yep.
But I mean,
but that's one of those, as an umpire, you don't want to be in that situation.
Oh, I do not. But it is 100% a block charge type call. Like it's almost a coin flip. It's almost like they should have a possession arrow. Like, well, you didn't get the check swing call in the bottom of the seventh. We got to make it here in the top of the ninth. Whatever the case is. I don't know, man. Chris says I'd rather Tennessee win than A&M, but that may be due to my hatred of all things Aggies. Andy says their celebration at the end was a little over the top, taking shirts off and running around the field. My gosh, they just won a track meet. What was it, 12-11 in the College World Series when they thought they were about to go to the losers bracket? And you heard the stat.
You remember how was it 2 years ago? Scotty, help me out. 2 years ago, I think Tennessee was viewed as unbeatable, right? Yeah. And I can't remember as many people that weren't even college baseball fans being so excited about a team getting bounced out.
Yeah, that was one of the best college baseball teams I've ever seen, and they didn't even make it out of regionals.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame put them out.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, Notre Dame, I don't know, like, on the whole celebration, I don't know what you're supposed to – because you heard the stat. Like, if you lose that first game, I think only one team – no teams have won it. What was the stat?
I don't remember.
It's some insane stat. If you lose that first game and get right in the losers bracket, you don't win this.
But can you imagine if they beat A&M? If it was A&M and Tennessee in the finals, they beat A&M, and then he takes Texas job. Texas fans love him. He just won a national championship. Just bounced A&M.
That's true. He'll be a hero before he even gets there. All right, back to best and worst of the weekend, presented by Hemp Hill. Landmine Believer says the Thunderbolts are the only spring team that Birmingham has had that sucked. Is that true? I guess that is kind of true, right?
Well, the Barracudas any good?
I don't really remember.
I mean, it was like half a season. What was it, even a full season?
No, the Barracudas played.
Were the Fire any good? I just don't remember any of these.
Yeah.
You had the Vulcans.
The Iron was the one that was half a season, Rockstar. The Iron were good, though, I think.
That was all Lunceford.
Lunceford, give me Lunceford's mic. You remember all this crap, Lunceford.
Yeah, the Iron were really good. They were making the playoffs until the league shut down halfway through the season.
Yeah, I went to one game.
I went to the first one, and I was like, it's not terrible football. Lunceford, were you at the game? Were you at the first game?
I bought sweet tickets and everything for the Iron. I was all in.
Of course you did.
Yeah, you could have gotten all in on this dynasty role.
Yeah, why are you not all in on the Stallions?
I'm not in on the Stallions. I just don't want to spend all that money to be heartbroken again.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have been.
I got a little mini helmet in the Meltdown studio. Is that good enough?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Ross is right. Birmingham Iron couldn't make payroll for week 2 of the season.
Yeah, that was
how
rumor.
many of those defunct leagues cost us money?
I know. Yeah, that was the rumors. Like, guys went to a doctor's appointment. They're like, your insurance has been canceled. That was the rumor of the AAF or whatever it was.
They were one of those cash in advance clients, like the Play Late Club.
The Play Late Club. That was Doug's best and worst of the weekend, the College World Series. We kind of got off on a tangent there. Robert's best and worst, the U.S. Open is his best. And he played Cross Creek on the golf cart yesterday. Congrats, Robert.
Awesome.
Thank you for supporting one of our golf card members there.
I don't know how people played golf yesterday. I will give you a lot of credit.
Yep.
I know. I was going to say you and Randy Brown went out and hit him around Limestone, another one of our fine sponsors there. But I just don't like getting in and out of the pool, first world problems. I'm like, damn, dude, I can't sit poolside without just sweating buckets.
Yep. I will say this about the golf cart. I have played recently, and I'm going to try to hit them all in the next couple days, Woodward and Cross Creek, but I'm working through our golf cart. Now, I'm not using the card myself. I'm going and paying. But
he's such a grinder. You're going to make it through the whole golf cart.
It's for the company. The Meadows, the best shape I have ever seen it in. And Limestone, I played it yesterday, incredible shape. If you guys remember when it first opened, it is back close to that. So I can't wait to see Cross Creek and Woodward, and I'm going to play those in the next couple of weeks. So nextround.store if you want to get one of those golf carts. But I'm telling you, man.
Boy, and I'll tell you, our weather has not done these golf courses any favors.
No, it's been hot. We got a little bit of rain yesterday in some places, but it's been hot, and that's tough on those golf courses. So thank you. He says it's worse. He was 1 under through 6, and the wheels fell off. Well, happened to Rory, too. Charles Worst. He starts with worst. His son's baseball tournament got rained out. How did it get rained out? It's in Vestavia. His best, he got to take the family to Slice for the first time. He said the hot mama and the margarita were amazing.
Okay, good.
I do like the hot mama, by the way.
I like both.
AK says football in the state of Alabama is just different. If we had an NFL team, we would be the Patriots dynasty on steroids. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know that it's got anything to do with it being in Alabama, like the Stallions. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, I
don't know how to describe it.
I mean, our falls are around here. I mean, it's so SEC based. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would describe the NFL. I think the popularity around here has gone up. I think over the last 20 years, I think a lot of that is, I mean, there could be, for a lot of Alabama fans, there's so much Alabama flavor in the NFL.
I think that's 100% it. I think that's the rise in the popularity as Alabama has put more guys in the NFL under Nick Saban.
So when I started Jocks, just to date myself, we had a fantasy football league there, and Michael Spisto would pass out the paper, and you would fill in your team for the week, and then he would have to grade it over the weekend.
So miserable.
Point there was going to be fantasy football is so evolved now, and so many people do it, and gambling is legal a lot of places, so there's a lot of people wagering.
No, I do think that has helped the NFL. I think, in Birmingham specifically, I do think a lot of NFL fandom is tied to where college stars go play. Like, you saw a ton of Panthers jerseys when Cam Newton was a Panther quarterback. How many Panthers jerseys do you see out there now?
None.
Like, I mean, you used to have,
maybe some Bryce Young. But.
Yeah, maybe some. Well, yeah, that's true. Good point. Now that Bryce Young's there, you'll see more and more. But, boy, when Cam was the quarterback at Carolina, there were Panthers jerseys and Panther shirts all over the place. And Fox 6 used to give us the Panthers all the time. We watched a ton of Panthers games. Now, they weren't watchable last year because they were awful. But I think so much of it is now we've got our team.
Let me ask you this. Why do you not go to games typically on Saturday?
Because the TV product's too good.
TV product's too good, but it's a commitment.
It is a commitment.
Your whole day is consumed by that.
Yeah.
And I just find it hard to believe, with as many passionate Alabama and Auburn fans as we have in this area, that you're going to be able to do that on a Saturday and then again on a Sunday.
And frankly, I don't like going to NFL games because I don't go to a ton of NFL games. It's basically when the Dolphins are in Atlanta or Nashville that I'll go. And that's normally an early window game, and the early window has got all the action, and you don't have a clue what's going on. I did not realize this until the last Dolphins game I went to, which was in Nashville, and it was at the end of the year. It was a January game, and we were, Dolphins looked like they'd never seen a football, and I was going to try to watch some other games during the timeouts. Sunday tickets blacked out inside the stadium. I couldn't even pull it up on my phone.
Ridiculous.
Did you know that was a deal? I had no idea that was the case. Because I was like, I can't get Sunday ticket. And the guys next to me said, yeah, it's blacked out in NFL stadiums. Why would you black out Sunday ticket?
If you're going to black it out and mark it.
But, I mean, the whole thing. Like, I couldn't get any games. I couldn't get any out of market games.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And the guy next to me said, yeah, Sunday ticket's blacked out in NFL stadiums. I'm like, I paid for it. Why would it be blacked out? Why does the NFL care?
I mean, the thing to do, and this is going to draw more people, you've got the attendance already there. Why would you not have a sports bar with all the games on inside?
Exactly, yeah. Now, I will say I went to a Falcons game, and like every time out, they on the screens there at Mercedes-Benz, and that's several years ago.
Doing updates?
Updates on fantasy. Yep. It was all about fantasy. But you were getting an update from every game, and they would pick out a fantasy star from that game. Yeah. And that helped. Well, they did not do that in Nashville.
Yeah, it does help that the scoreboards, I mean, everything, even, obviously in college venues now is up to the minute. You remember back in the day when Pepper Simpson or whoever it was in the third quarter.
And the score, it was at least 20 minutes old. Yeah, it had changed.
LSU, 31, Florida, 34.
Everybody goes crazy. No, you had no clue what was going on. I remember seeing a guy. I was at a game at Legion Field. I want to say it was an Iron Bowl. And a guy down in front of us, it must have been Michigan, Ohio State, or somebody else was playing, but it was a big game that day. And he had one of those, do you remember the old, what was it, the Sony Watchman? Was that what they called the TV?
Yes, the Watchman was a black and white TV.
It was a black and white TV. And it
took about 18 AA batteries.
Yeah, and it looked like the old thing you used to call in a airstrike, in World War II. Bring it right, 1, 3, 4.
Watch the game.
Yeah, no, and he had the two, and it was two like the rabbit ears, and he's sitting, and everybody's crowded around him. And Rockstar, if the screen were 2 inches by 2 inches, I'd be stunned. But everybody's crowded around watching the end of that game because they all had money on it, or it might have helped Alabama or Auburn, whoever won. I can't remember.
Look, it's all about a fan experience. You try to keep these people out. I remember going to the Brody Croyle sack game at Jordan-Hare.
Yep.
And that day, Michigan and Ohio State were undefeated, and they played at the same time.
I think it was the first time ever it was undefeated versus undefeated.
Yeah, and it was 2:30, and I was already had a big traveling group. We went, and I was so miserable because I couldn't watch that game. But I'm like, I'm already in the stadium again. If you have one little screen up there,
I know. I was. I don't know. I question myself about this, but I did not go to that Iron Bowl because of that. I was like, that Ohio State Michigan game is so big. I go to the Iron Bowl every year.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be a good Iron Bowl. I mean, Alabama was a one-loss team. No, it was not.
Yeah, and it ended up being it seemed like I think Ohio State controlled pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning, I think, by 7, and then they go on and lose to Florida for the national championship.
Didn't Bo Schembechler died the night before that game?
Maybe.
I think it was. Yeah. I think he died or the day before, a couple days before maybe, right before that game. And a lot of people thought Michigan was going to be playing inspired football. But it was I remember that day well. All right, we'll get some more best and worst of the weekend. Johnston RV Center brings you part of the show. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. Both those lots I just mentioned, they have repriced everything on the lot, and they are so confident in their pricing that they are willing to beat any price nationwide on a comparable RV. You bring them the price, they will beat it. That is their guarantee. They're also going to make sure you have a lifetime warranty. RV Warranty Forever takes care of anything new and qualifying used there at Johnston RV Center. Just see them, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. Tyler says, this is back to a comment I made earlier. If Skip Holtz is making $500,000 coaching the UFL, I'll eat my hat. I mean, what do you think?
No, I said 200,000 or 300,000. I mean, 500 is a lot.
But do you remember Bob Stoops? Now, he doesn't coach anymore, does he?
No.
But he came out to coach for the other half of that league, what was part of the merger league, and Bob Stoops wouldn't have done that for pennies.
No, but I think he might have gotten a percentage of the team. I don't know.
Wade Wilson, who was the coach on the other side. Wade Phillips, was the coach on the other side.
Still is coaching.
Well, I know, but he was the coach on the other side yesterday. I don't think Wade Phillips, that guy's had a good NFL career. I don't think he'd do it for nothing.
I mean, last time he was in the league, a defense coordinator. I mean, he was defense coordinator for the Rams in Super Bowl 53.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making 7 figures then. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these guys probably. This is almost like retirement and coaching.
Yeah, I mean, how
many hours a week do they spend? I'm sure it's a lot.
I don't know. So the Stallions played 11 games, and I mean, I'm sure those guys. I think they probably love it because it's pure coaching for them. It's just film breakdown. They don't have to recruit. They don't have to worry about the roster. They're just breaking down film and preparing a team. And then Skip Holtz is off now until January or whatever.
Keith says Google says $1 million for Skip.
Zero chance.
Yeah, career earnings.
Yeah. He's not making $1 million. I'm not going to say he's making $1 million to coach the Stallions, but I bet you it's $500,000. I just don't think they could get good coaches, and they've got some good name coaches, and obviously Skip Holtz is a good coach. All right, more of your best and worst when we return. 205-734-0923. This is the next round.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
All right, I had to look this up. It is in the mybookie.ag chat room, part of the best and worst. And I saw it earlier, and I didn't want to comment on it until I looked it up. And I should have told Scott in the break, but we were all in the break discussing what Scott has found on Google, and several of you have Googled that Skip Holtz is making $1 million as the Stallions coach.
I've reached out to a couple of people. I'm going to try to confirm this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Skip would care if anybody's talking about this.
No,
because,
I think everybody would say, well done, Skip.
Oh, yeah. Look, we know a reason that Skip wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. Why in the hell would you deal with the pressures of anything else if you were making $1 million a year in Birmingham to do what he's doing?
And that's what I told you and Scott in the break when Scott said, look, on a Google search, it says Skip Holtz is making $1 million a year. And I'm like, I would keep that job forever.
Yeah.
They could not pry me out of this job.
I would think it would be, pushing to say over the last 3 years he's made $1 million.
If you could make $1 million as a UFL coach, so what did they play? 11 games, right? 12 games, whatever the case was.
If you're looking at the postseason too, they were 9-1 in the regular season, and then 2-0
in the postseason.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go, 12 games. And now, to the best of my knowledge, the league handles the rosters, right? I think that's the way this works.
He's making $100,000 a game.
Lance, but but when you think of it in those terms, he is the head coach.
Yeah.
The league handles the roster, right? I mean, he doesn't have to go out and they don't have to scout and draft and all that. The league's handling that.
That's why it seems like a less pressured job. Obviously, the league's not making.
All right, Scott is showing it from Sportskeeda or whatever that.
Yeah. We've been doing this a long time. I've never heard of Sportskeeda.
Sportskeeda. Skip Holtz' estimated net worth is $5 million. The Birmingham Stallions head coach earns about $1 million each season. But my point was going to be,
I believe he's worth $5 million.
Yeah. My point was going to be, he doesn't now have to. I don't know what else he does. Like, is there a chance Skip Holtz doesn't work again until January now?
Possibly. Look, at 60, if he's got $5 million. He could absolutely shut it down.
So their camp is probably 2 or 3 weeks. So he probably got 15 weeks in on this deal out of 52?
I don't know. I would say that I don't know what kind of media obligations he's got this week.
Yeah.
But whenever those are done, I would think he's going to be somewhere nice and tropical.
I know I would be. I mean, if I'm making $1 million a year and we're what is today, June 17th, and I don't, in theory, have to work again until January?
It'd be unbelievable.
I mean, could you imagine?
No, and look, and this guy that obviously he's got such a long history at the collegiate level, but why would you want to go back to that and deal with NIL?
Yeah. All right, so I had to look this up in the break, and I should have given Scott a heads up, but we got stuck on this. Gary's best. I'll give you a second, Scott, on the worst, and maybe you could find it. Mark Bowman's tweet over the weekend about Austin Riley. And he's getting roasted for it.
Oh, I did not see this.
Yeah, Awful Announcing has it, Scott, awfulannouncing.com. Because I'll start with the best, and I'll get your thought on this, because he is a local guy. He's from Vestavia, played at LSU. Smiley Kaufman is a golf media guy, Gary says, is his best of the weekend. His tour career did not work out. One-time winner on the PGA Tour, but his game fell apart.
And was it a Masters where going into the final round?
He was in the last group.
Yeah.
Yeah, last group. I think he shot like 82 that day. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, he had a bad.
It was not a great
final round.
Not a great, but you're in the last group of the Masters. Yeah. They don't just give those spots out. You got to earn that one.
But I mean, the reviews he's been getting, I mean, he is going to have a long career.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. He started his own podcast. He does a thing when NBC has the tournaments. He does a happy hour on Friday where he sets up on a hole and the golfers, like one of the golfers comes out and sits in with him. And it's just kind of a fun, jovial, they cut up and have fun. So I think he's going to have a good long career at that. And, CBS does most of the golf in the summer. NBC does a lot of theirs outside the summer, except for the U.S. Open. But Smiley, I think, does a really good job there. And they had him in the next to last group. I mean, it's a lot of respect for the guy when they put you in the next to last group. I mean, so I do think he's going to have a long career. Now, Gary's worst is Mark Bowman tweeting about Austin Riley's hitting mentor. And I was like, well, what is this? I did not see this. Scott, of course, as quick as he can, has the tweet up. So Mark Bowman covers the Braves for MLB.com. And apparently Austin Riley hit a home run. And Bowman tweets, that's going to be one of the most memorable and emotional homers of Austin Riley's career. He lost a good friend and a mentor in a car wreck last night. I don't want to release who it is until after Riley has a chance to talk about it postgame. And then he comes back and says, I should have known this would create speculation. Former Braves hitting instructor Mike Brumley was killed in a car accident. Riley spent time working with him in Baltimore this week. People were roasting Mark Bowman for that first tweet. They're like, how do you just tweet that he had a good friend killed in a car wreck and you don't tweet who it is?
He should have. The first line is fine.
Yep.
It's going to be one of the most memorable and emotional homers of Austin Riley's career. Drop the second line. Or just drop everything after that.
Yeah, drop everything after that. He'll explain after the game, or I'm sure he'll be asked about it after the game, and then people are going to ask. But I don't know. I read that, and I'm like, I could see how people were like, how do you say somebody was killed close to him in a car accident? And you don't say who it is. Like if I'm,
it would be better just to go on and explain the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
if I'm a family member, I'm like, whoa, time out. Who died? I'm blowing up Austin's dad. Like, did somebody die that we don't know about? Or if I'm a close friend of his, I'm like, was somebody went to high school with?
All the attention away from the game. Yeah, if you're one of, somebody close to Austin, that's all you're talking about. Of course, I would assume a good majority of the people close to him probably already knew.
They probably knew. I could see why he was getting roasted for that. That's a tough one right there. I've never dealt with Mark Bowman. I don't think he's been on the show. So, I would give him the benefit of the doubt there. I doubt he was trying to do anything wrong. Tom, speaking of the Braves, his best was his birthday weekend at the Braves, ground level behind home plate. That is a good place to sit. I have a couple times been able to stumble in like first 5 rows behind the plate, and it's a different game right there. You hear everything.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever been able to do that in a
it's
Major
been
League
a
game.
long time, man. I typically go behind first or third.
Yeah. My only time at Wrigley Field, it was a Friday afternoon game, and we sat, I think, 5th row. It was, you got behind the plate, and the next 2 sections, we were in the section just to the left. And they were playing the Nationals, and I was trying to remember who the Cubs manager was then. And he got pissed at the home plate umpire, and he's standing at the top step, and they're yelling back and forth at each other. You hear every word of it. I mean, it's like there's no censor, nothing. I mean, why don't you blink and,
Was it the Joe Madden days?
It might have been. I'm trying to remember who the Cubs manager was. It was 2017, I think it was.
Yeah, that would have been Joe Madden.
Joe Madden? Yeah, he's at the top step.
Scotty, help me out. Is that not Joe Madden? 2017 Cubs?
Giving it to the home plate umpire.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, just wearing him out. And, I mean, like, I've got my little one there, and she's looking at me like, are these two going to fight? And I'm like, nah, it's just kind of part of the game. And the umpire, he rips the mask off. He's like, Joe, you get back in there. If it was, man. Joe, you get back in there. That's a really cool place to sit. Is a long way of saying that. Is that who it was?
Yep.
Joe Madden? Okay. I saw Joe Madden manage. His worst, sitting in the oven at the Braves game behind home plate. That is a hot seat. There's no cover when you're behind home plate. You pay for those tickets, and then you sit out there and absolutely roast. I don't know how people go to those August games.
Oh, I don't know either.
Woo. Like those Sunday afternoon games in August, 1,000 degrees. I don't know how they do it. By the way, Troy says, if the NFL doesn't invest and monetarily support the UFL, how much longer does it last?
I mean, look.
I don't know what the NFL's getting out of it. How many guys do they get out of the UFL?
I would think not even one a roster.
They had the kicker from the Stallions that actually contributed for the Cowboys. I mean, he was really good. I don't know how many other guys are getting. I don't know that it's worth it. The NFL gets way more out of college than they do out of the NFL. If they were ever going to have to monetize something and support it, subsidize it, it would be the college game.
It's been so successul for Birmingham. You want it to hang around, but would you be shocked if you heard in 2 weeks, hey, it's done?
Nope. I hope it sticks around. I'm just, we're blunt on this show. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon. I love Skip. He's been really nice to us. Jay Sternberger, who got ejected at the end of the game for fighting, has been great to us on the show. We've had some other players on.
He's been chippy the last couple of weeks.
He has been. He's been working on that one, hasn't he?
Yep.
I have not watched a game all season. I just ask you how many they've played. I have not watched one all season.
Yeah, I've watched a few.
Well, I mean, you found a little lanceslock.com.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one reason.
We've been we've been hot there.
I used
yesterday.
I used to always say I want spring football, and then when I had easy access to spring football, I just haven't watched it. I mean, it's just. I mean, I like being outside in the spring and all that. So, I mean, how
are you going to play every course in the Birmingham metro area if you're watching UFL?
If I'm at home watching a UFL game, the Brahmas and the other teams, Stallions, Brahmas, Renegades,
Roughnecks,
Defenders, Roughnecks, all those teams. All right, more best and worst. Also, you guys talked about it in the mybookie.ag chat room. Les Miles has sued LSU. It's kind of a weird reason why. We will get to that. It is breaking today. We'll get to it in the next segment. Jim Dunaway will tell you Way to Wellness has potentially saved his life. I know when you think about Way to Wellness, you're like, well, you just dropped a little bit of weight. Well, you also are able, he's dropped a lot of weight in that video. You're also able to get some of your numbers back in line. And that was the problem with Dunaway, is some of his numbers have gotten out of whack. So he went and talked to Leslie and her great staff there at Way to Wellness, board-certified staff. This is not a cookie-cutter plan that is just going to do the same thing for everybody. It is going to be a plan that is tailored just for you. That's why their website is aplanforme.com. aplanforme.com. That is Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Don't just drop weight. Do that, but the side benefits of it, the byproduct, better health, better numbers. You probably sleep better. You can get out and be more active in the summer. You don't walk outside and just immediately get drenched in sweat because you're overweight and out of shape. Aplanforme.com is a great place to start. That is Way to Wellness. Just go by, get that risk-free consultation, and see if it is right for you. Leslie and her staff, tell them you want to lose weight like Dunaway did. Aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness. Why is Les Miles suing LSU? We tell you next.
Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
So we'll get to the Les Miles story in a second. I mean, the headline is, the story to me is the weird reason he's suing. The headline is going to get a lot of attention, that Les Miles is suing LSU.
So Les Miles, though.
It really is. Would you describe him as a weirdo?
Eccentric, but yeah.
Is that just a nice way of saying weirdo?
I would just, very layman term, strange.
Is eccentric the nicest way you could call somebody weird? Excuse me.
Quirky,
yeah. Also, this Deion Sanders story. Like, I mean, I'm sure Deion will deny it, but basically, you got parents now saying that their players, their sons, who are players for Deion, were told they either go to Shador's concert or they get kicked off the team. Have you seen this story?
I don't know if I can believe that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's going to.
I mean, if it was in fact something that is confirmed by a lot of the players, I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Deion, you know all this stuff's going to get out.
Oh,
right?
I know you. Yeah, absolutely, you do. But it is now. It is and it came from Barstool, and Deion used to have
a deal with
Barstool. So that was one thing. When
I'll never forget. I was watching the Rough and Rowdy. I rented it for the boys one night. It's like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be on game day the next day.
I remember that.
And they had to bring Eddie George in, and they're like, he couldn't get in. And I'm like, he was ringside for Rough and Rowdy in West Virginia.
Yeah, the night before. Now, Athlon Sports, I believe, is the first to do this, to report this. The Deion Sanders, according to a player's dad, the player told him, Coach told us we had to be there to support Shador as a rapper. To be honest, it was nothing but a huge distraction, and Daddy Ball was being played. And other reports have been that Deion was told his players that they would get kicked off the team. Now, Deion has since said, it's one of the best lies I've heard. God bless you. I pray for you, all those things.
Yeah, I wish Travis Hunter didn't show up.
He would not be kicked off the team. I don't know. Was it a good? Did you see the George Strait concert? No, I know you didn't. King George. Rockstar.
What, did Deion come out and do an encore with him?
No. You guys, I know you're not George Strait respecters the way I am, but you're going to have to appreciate this, I think. Especially you as a musician, Rockstar. You're going to have to appreciate this. Scott has photos. Largest concert in United States history at Kyle Field over the weekend. King George. 110,000 people at Kyle Field.
Okay, obviously he's one of the best to do it in his genre, but I would think if you could make capacity 115 and you had Taylor Swift come out,
you could do it.
Yeah,
like if Taylor Swift was at Kyle Field, you could easily pack that.
Oh
out.
yeah,
but for whatever reason, she hasn't done a venue that large. But I mean, that is pretty incredible when you look at, especially that bottom right photo, that aerial shot of Kyle Field, and he's in the center. I saw that same concert at Stapleton and George Strait, and the night I saw it, Little Big Town open for them. I saw that same concert in the Horseshoe in Ohio, in Columbus, but he was in one end zone. This had him, he was in the round. I mean, like, you may or may not like, country music, but when George Strait can get 110,000 people, you got to respect the heck out of that.
Okay, so if you wanted to beat that, though, if you went to Bristol, remember Virginia Tech and Tennessee played there, and they had to get really creative with the seating. But if you were to have a venue like that, I don't know how you would set it up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some of these European places, like I'm trying to go to Metallica in August.
I was going to say, they had, in 91 during the Black Tour, there was a concert where they had almost like 1 million people. Was it in Russia?
Well, somebody's,
a bajillion people.
So that's what I'm saying. If you set up the right venue, if you rolled Metallica out, you could sell out whatever.
Trey said his daughter was in the MyBookie.ag chat room. His daughter was there, and she said, I don't think anybody realized how many people were going to be there. I would imagine the organizers did. I mean, they sold the tickets, but... I don't know that the crowd knew that they were going to be part of history.
Yeah, but I think that was probably part of the goal, wouldn't you think?
I would think
also,
so, yeah.
when they have it, was he in the round or something like that? Because if you have the stage,
he was in the round,
I was going to get a block off that other end zone because those tickets are awful.
And that's what I'm saying. In Columbus, the end zone was blocked off, and the stage was on about the 20. Yeah. It was a huge crowd in the Horseshoe in Columbus. I mean, it was the sold out, and the part he was, but it was 110,000. Chris says Garth had 102,000 at Death Valley. I'm not a huge Garth fan, but that concert was fun. He puts on a great show. Obviously, calling Baton Rouge in Death Valley gets a pretty good reaction there. All right, so speaking of LSU, the Les Miles story, but first, Lance, Inverness Country Club wants you to become a member.
Yeah, look, if you're looking for something to do, it is not too late this summer to jump on board. They've got memberships that fit everyone at Inverness Country Club. That social membership, including the resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana and bar, live music on Friday night, Sunday brunch, the golf, beautiful course out there, currently expanding the driving range. Maybe you travel for work or pleasure. Ask about the Heritage Plus option, where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Maybe you relocated or retired. Great place to meet others in the community. Inverness Country Club, also a great place to network. Childcare, huge plus. You can drop the kid. Maybe mom works from home. She wants to work from the club for a few hours a day. They've got childcare right there on site. Take mom to dinner there. Get a nice day on the course, out on the court. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron today. Write the number down, 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
So Les Miles is suing LSU, and when you see that headline, it's going to get a lot of attention. He is suing LSU because he says it is the games they agreed to vacate as part of NCAA sanctions that are keeping him out of the College Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, so many things to look at. So his career winning percentage was .665, but when they vacated all the wins from LSU from 2012 to 2015, the overall winning percentage dropped to .597. As a result, you've got to have a 60% career winning percentage.
That's right. He's 59 points, 4/10 short.
The obvious question here is, if his winning percentage was still .665, if he had won 67% of his games, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
I don't think he is.
I think if you look at some of the guys in there, he is.
Well, maybe, but to me, Les Miles, I mean, Ed Orgeron won a national championship there. That was a much better team than Les Miles. Well, the 2011 team that didn't close the deal was a really, really one of the best teams, regular season teams we've ever seen. Les Miles was a really good coach. I just don't consider him a Hall of Fame coach. You look back at his Oak State days, he did a less than Mike Gundy job there.
Right.
I did nothing at Kansas.
Oh, he was terrible. That's actually what's keeping him out of the Hall of Fame is the fact that he agreed to coach at Kansas. I mean, they were horrific in his time there. I'm going to give you the coaches that are in here.
And by the way, I don't know what the end game here. I don't know if Les Miles just wanted his name to be mentioned on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that's going to be done here. They're not going to give the wins back. They've been vacated.
Yeah. So financially, what do you get out of this? I mean, normally if you're going to sue somebody, you're going to pay attorneys to do it. So you're going to need some sort of financial gain out of it. What are you going to get out of getting to the College Football Hall of Fame? Nothing.
This would be a great day for the College Hall of Fame to go on and say Mike Leach is now eligible.
Yeah, I mean, he's closer. I think Scott did the math, or Lunceford one. Leach is closer than Les Miles. I think Leach is 59.9% or 59.8. Miles 59.6. I'm just going to give you some of these coaches in here. You tell me if you would put Les Miles in before them. Mark Richt.
Rick was a better coach.
Paul Johnson.
Paul Johnson should not be in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Gary Pinkel.
Gary Pinkel was a better coach, but I don't think Pinkel had Missouri at number one.
I know
he was
did.
A much better coach with degree of difficulty much more than what Les Miles ever dealt with. But no, I don't think Gary Pinkel should be in.
Dick Sheridan.
I mean, you'd have to give me Dick Sheridan's numbers. Yeah, like
I think they don't think they'd be as good as Les Miles. And by the way, Les Miles has a national championship and played for another one. Dennis Erickson. I mean, that's not a slam dunk.
No. I mean, look.
I think Dennis Erickson's pretty much got Les Miles' numbers. He won a national championship and played for another one.
And the most impressive thing to me, Dennis Erickson, and I think they went on probation after this, getting Oregon State to a Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, no, Dennis Erickson's a good coach. I got no problem being in there. Frank Beamer, I mean, that's an obvious
100%
one.
in.
Mac Brown.
100% in.
In front of Les Miles.
Yes.
Danny Ford.
No, I don't think Danny Ford. I know he's got a national championship at Clemson, but I would say no.
Steve Spurrier's an obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Snyder's an obvious.
Oh, yes.
Jim Tressel, he did a lot at Youngstown before that. Mike Bellotti.
Bellotti would tell you behind the scenes that Oregon was his creation.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have them cooking in the right direction, and then he took over as AD, and he made the hires that put them in a spot to play for 2 national championships.
Bill McCartney.
Oh, man. I mean, Colorado won a national championship, and Colorado was a power for a while. I don't, and this isn't fair to Les Miles more than likely. I mean, he maintained for a good bit what Saban was able to create and build there.
Yeah, I mean, they were really good.
But to me, the LSU job is so much better than these other jobs we're talking about.
Phil Fulmer?
No, Phil Fulmer 100% should be in over
Les Miles?
Over Les Miles.
R.C. Slocum?
R.C. Slocum should be in over Les Miles. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought R.C. Slocum.
R.C. Slocum?
I think they were winning 9 or 10 games a year at A&M back before A&M was had these resources that they've got.
All right. We're going to hit pause real quick because I've got to pull up R.C. Slocum's numbers here.
R.C. Slocum was given a corner office at $1 million a year back when retired coaches were given nothing.
Yeah. He had a good run right there in the mid-'90s, 10-2, 12-1, 10-2. 3 Cotton Bowl losses, but he won the Southwest Conference 3 straight years in the 90s there. And then they go to the Big 12, and he won it one more time. So he's got 4 conference championships, 123, 47-2 as Texas A&M's head coach. A&M would probably, I don't know. I mean, his time in the Big 12, 6-6, 9-4, 11-3, 8-4, 7-5, 8-4, 6-6, kind of what Texas A&M's become.
I mean, I wouldn't have said he's a Hall of Famer. I would have just said he was before Les Miles.
Yeah, Lloyd Carr.
I mean, Lloyd won one just like Les did.
Fisher DeBerry?
No.
Barry Alvarez? Gene Stallings?
No.
Jim Donnan?
No.
Dick McPherson? So all these guys are in.
I mean,
Lloyd Carr. I mean,
Dick McPherson did put Syracuse on the map.
I
don't know. I mean, Syracuse was good back in the
50s
and 60s.
I'm not arguing against these guys being in here. I'm just saying with all these guys in the college football, Pat Dye. Would you put Les Miles in before Pat Dye?
I think Pat Dye's a better coach.
Don Nealon?
Don Nina has really good years at West Virginia.
He did.
I don't know, man. My criteria for Hall of Fame is much more than a lot of these guys
I
are.
don't disagree with you, but I'm saying
it
when you
should
look
be
at that list,
excellence.
When you look at that list, Les Miles is easy in the Hall of Fame
he's
based on that list.
Yeah, based on that list, yes. Les Miles is.
He's won a national championship and played for another one. So it's, that alone pretty much puts you in there. But you're right.
Okay, but Larry Coker won 2 national championships.
I thought he just won the one.
I guess he got ripped off against Ohio State. Yeah, he beat Nebraska and then lost to Ohio State.
But to your point, outside of LSU, he was 28-21 at Oak State, 16-16 in a conference, and he was 3-18, 1-16 at Kansas. So he's basically would be getting in the Hall of Fame only on what he did at LSU.
To me, elite coaches, like if Gary Pinkel would have gotten another job and then he would have won at a higher level than Missouri, I just think you've got to be able to win everywhere you go. Like Nick Saban, if Nick Saban would have taken over Kansas, Lance Leipold, you see it right now, what he's doing there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Nick Saban would have success there because he's an elite coach.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know this. The whole thing, though, is just a weird lawsuit because, again, what are you getting out of it? Okay, you're in the College Football Hall of Fame. Congrats, Les. You get to put that on a resume, your tombstone, your Twitter handle, whatever you want to do.
Now it's tainted because, hey, you sued to get in.
Yeah.
Not that they're going to give the vacated wins back. Monetarily, you're right. There's nothing he can get from this.
Yeah.
This is just, I don't know. It's a weird story.
And I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Of course, I think this kind of shows you how I heard a lot of stories from Les Miles and the fallout behind the scenes at LSU. And there is obviously no love loss. And you wonder if this is just Les's way at taking one final shot at LSU. I don't think LSU really cares. Okay, sue us because, what you did was deemed, ineligible. And the wins had to be vacated.
Yeah. I think vacated wins are stupid.
So stupid.
I mean, I think it's the dumbest thing in the world that they vacate wins because they used to be forfeits. Now they don't even forfeit, you just vacated. So the other team doesn't get the win. They just don't get a loss. I mean, it's just dumb stuff.
Yeah, to me, it's more of a non-story because you make a good point going through that list of coaches because there's a lot there that I don't think are deserving.
Yep.
But he's right there in the mix with those guys. So if you're Les Miles, if you really believe, hey, I should have been in the Hall of Fame and the only reason I'm not, I can understand you being upset, but there's no way you're getting these wins back.
Hydrolive, Lance. Boy, I tell you what, when I came off the 18th yesterday, I could have used a bag from Hydrolive. It would not have hurt my feelings.
I mean, look, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be doing activities out, whether it's yard work all weekend, you've got a big project out there, you're going to be playing a lot of golf. You need to make sure you are fully hydrated. IV therapies, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. You can boost that immune system with Hydrolife therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. And ask about the memberships. You basically recoup the IV membership in just one visit with that free IV bag per month. Hydrolife therapy is open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. There are 2 locations in Birmingham. They're original in Homewood, now Greystone, Highway 119, one in Tuscaloosa as well. Very important. Mention Next Round when you stop into one of those 3 locations, and you're getting it 20% off any of the great services from our friends at Hydrolive. For more information, hydrolivetherapy.com.
Steven brings, I don't know if this is exactly what he means in the mybookie.ag chat room, but he brings this point up, and I actually think this will happen one day. He says all vacated wins should be restored. It is my belief that your major schools are going to pull away from the NCAA one day. And I think when they do that, they'll all be like, we're arrogant, we're ego-driven, we want as many wins as we can get.
Yep.
All that's off the books now, and all those will be restored. So in a weird way, those might actually come back to Les Miles one day, and he would be eligible for the Hall of Fame then without the lawsuit. And I actually think that's going to happen in the pretty near future.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And if that does happen, then there's a good chance. Of course, I'm sure the Hall of Fame's probably not happy that they're getting sued, right?
Or that LSU's getting sued. Yeah, but they're not in the suit, are they? The Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think there's more than LSU just in the suit. Let me just read here.
I mean, I don't know why you would sue the College Football Hall of Fame. They've got their standards now. I don't know how they just
maybe it is just
60% of wins. Yeah, because LSU was the ones that vacated the wins. I think one day though, if you care anything about all-time wins and things like that, I think once they pull away from the NCAA, you'll get those wins back.
Here we go. Miles' lawsuit also lists the NCAA and the National Football Foundation, which manages the Hall of Fame, as defendants.
Why would you sue them? Why are they catching us stray? They're like, we just got our Hall of Fame. We got rules, man. I mean,
He's calling on the court to declare him eligible for the College Football Hall of Fame and declare the vacated wins to be considered wins, so he's eligible for nomination. Well, you think his attorneys are like, Les, we'll do this. You might have some extra money to spend, but
I am as big a college football fan as there is. You are too, right? I mean, I go to my basement at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and I don't leave until, God rest his soul, Pac-12 after dark is over. I do not care who's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
I don't either, no.
I mean, it's a very nice venue. We did our show. We've done our show from there multiple times. And I encourage people to go. It's a really cool venue.
It's really cool.
I really don't care who's in there, though.
No, I think it's neat when you have people that are up, annually. Like, what did that come out? Like 3-4 weeks ago? 2-3 weeks ago? When we hear that in the summer, I think it's kind of neat to see some of those names again. But
then I quit paying attention and I forget who gets elected. And I understand if it's been your career, you want the recognition you deserve.
And the criteria, like you've got to be an All-American at your position. And there's some great quarterbacks that were never first-team All-Americans.
That will never be in the College Football Hall of Fame, and they were phenomenal. Like Stetson Bennett, I think, is one of them. Like, is Stetson Bennett a College Football Hall of Famer to you?
Should be, yeah.
Well, he won't be.
I know.
Because he doesn't meet the criteria. And I get it. I mean, look, I understand they got to narrow it down. You've got a lot of players in college football. It's not the NFL.
Yeah, I think Vince Young is not a – because Matt Leinart was the first-teamer that year.
That's right. All right, Dan Wetzel is going to join us when we come back in just a few moments, and we'll talk about a lot with him. The image makeover of Bryson DeChambeau. Has he ever seen anything that equals that in sports? And we'll also discuss tonight's NBA Finals. Are you back in? I mean, when it gets 3-0, when it gets 3-0, I got to wait for it to at least be 3-2 to get my attention again.
I just think with teams being 0-156 down 0-3, although the Mavericks look so good on what was it now? Friday night.
Yeah.
I just don't see this comeback.
We will talk with Dan about all that when we return. A reminder, if you've had recent storm damage, Storm Restoration Roofing can make sure that roof is in good working order, or work with the insurance company to get it placed. Our guy, Greg Nelson. Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City is the guy that handles that. 205-542-3531. That is his cell number. Get him to do that inspection of your roof. It is absolutely free, and he'll let you know what you need to do. 205-542-3531. Greg Nelson, Storm Restoration Roofing. Dan Wetzel is next.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
All right, continue on the next round. We always love catching up with our buddy Dan Wetzel, national columnist, Yahoo Sports. He joins us again on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Dan? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing fine, thank you. Hope you had a great Father's Day weekend. I don't know what you do for Father's Day. Do you just do anything you want? Is that the rule at the Wetzel house?
Get the big piece of chicken. That's what I like to say on Father's Day. You get your hung out a little bit, had a few beers, watched the U.S. Open. Not bad. Didn't have to work this Father's Day.
So
a lot of Father's Day I got to work, so I'm glad I didn't have to this year.
So what was the bigger story? Bryson, the Live Golf League captain, winning another U.S. Open, or the fact that Rory, and just watching how painful that was, missing 2 inside of 5-foot putts on 2 of the last 3 holes?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Probably Rory losing it, but at the same time, Bryson made that sand shot to win it, and I'm glad that happened, because it wasn't like he just totally backed into the U.S. Open. He had to go get it, and he did. But Rory left that door open. Obviously, the second one is a really tough putt, but he hit it up past the hole. I mean, you got to stay below the hole on almost any course, let alone Pinehurst. So in U.S. Open Sunday conditions. So that was a tough putt. But, I mean, it's been a decade for Rory. He's obviously a great golfer. He is one of the best in the world. And when he can get out of his own way early, he usually is just unbelievable on the weekends. And this was his chance. And I don't know what happened. He had it lined up. Everything was going well. He was driving the ball well, and it just, man, when the wheels come off in golf, the margin is so thin. We all, I know I never happened, but I know Ryan's famous for some blow up holes, and it can happen. You just watch it. But at the same time, Bryson went out and won it. That was a great. I mean, he's kind of screwed over there. He's on this route, and of course, he gets all in his head. And he's looking for relief. He's like, you got the full Bryson DeChambeau show on Sunday. The full boat. Good, love it, hate it, compelling, whatever you want to be. He was in his element. Hits it into the trap. He's in a lot of trouble, and he just makes a heck of a shot out of there. 55-yard sand shot. I mean, geez, that's not easy.
But can you remember? And there have been, I guess, some guys that have done this or have tried to do this. A guy that has changed his image more. This guy has gone from one of the more hated and mocked golfers, players in his own sport, to one of the most celebrated now. It is, and he's like a man of the people. He's signing, the young guy in the wheelchair that a lot of players are stopping and talk to. But Bryson stops and pulls out a Sharpie and signs his hat mid-round. You just don't see that often. And he's revving up the crowd. He's communicating with the crowd he's just a different guy now. He's done this PR overhaul, and I'm not seeing many that have done better than that.
He's softened his image, and he does a lot of the signing and a lot of stuff. And even at the PGA, right? He doesn't get it. He's sitting on the driving range, and he's waiting for a chance for the playoff. Then he doesn't get it. He goes over and shakes hands. He's done a lot of stuff to soften that image. And then I have always found him, look, I'm a writer and I cover golf sometimes. So you need interesting people. And until he got arrested, like Scotty Scheffler, really not that interesting. Like, he's an unbelievable golfer, but like every round after, he's just talking about how much he loves his wife or how content he is with his faith. And you're like, okay, these are great, good for you, but I got to write a story here, man. Can't just every day write about that. Give me something. And so I've always found DeChambeau, even though he's an amateur and he's basically walking. I remember writing about him. He goes to the Masters as an amateur and he's like, yeah, I'm going to do these. I'm building my own. I have my own clubs that I've built. I'm going to revolutionize golf. Like, who walks in as an amateur to Augusta Nationals? Like, I'm going to revolutionize golf. But, he waiting for guys to clear on par fours, clear the green, and they doesn't even hit it, or playing up different holes. He's just a total madman out there. So when he's on, I know he can be, I don't think I'd want to like have a long car ride with him. Like, he seems like he would annoy the hell out of you if you were like on a 12-hour car ride or stuck next to him on a bus or something. But in terms of like interesting, when he's going, he's just all over the place. Everything is crazy. And he interacts with the crowd. He makes it exciting. He makes it fun. He doesn't mind the peaks and valleys. He's going to try to hit the ball like 560 yards every time. It's fun to watch. And so I think if you can get over like, yeah, this guy might be a little annoying, maybe not, but he's fun. He's interesting and he's a good dude. He stops for the kid in the wheelchair, and he's handing out golf balls and stuff like that. Hey, why not? So he's, as you said, I don't know too many that have turned their image around that well. I think part of that is purposeful, and I think part of it is just people appreciating, what? It's more fun when he's in it, whether you love him or hate him.
Before we get into Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Dan Hurley turns down the Lakers. I wasn't surprised. I'm a Lakers guy. I said if I was Dan Hurley, I would stay put in Stores. First, were you surprised? And what do you make of J.J. Redick if he becomes the next head coach? What it looks like, all signs are pointing that Redick will be the next Lakers head coach.
Yeah, I thought when it got to the point where he was going to fly out there, I mean, these college coaches generally, it's clandestine, right? Like, God forbid that you don't have complete loyalty. Like, why would I ever leave the University of Connecticut? Like, the idea that you might be interested in the Lakers would somehow hurt recruiting. I don't really get that. I would think it'd be like, so all your players want to get to the Lakers too. So I thought when he was going out there that maybe he would take this job, but once he flew back, I was like, that's not good. But he wanted to see a Billy Joel concert in New York. Like, Danny's a little different. So
yeah.
As a college sports fan, I'm happy he's there. I think it's great on a number of levels. UConn's going for a three-peat. It hasn't been done since John Wooden, UCLA. So that's a great storyline for college basketball next year. He is a really, again, compelling character. He's arguing with fans. You can totally hate him. You can love him. He's fiery. His teams play really interesting, so it's a good character. I like that he's at the Big East. I like that schools that care about basketball can still be good at basketball, and it's not just Big Ten SEC money that can just buy it. They've won 4 or 5 of the last, 10 titles of the Big East teams. I like that a team outside the power football money is doing well. So all around, it's great for college sports to have a Danny Hurley, and he's a guy who's embraced NIL in the transfer portal, right? And looked at it instead of just sitting there saying this is awful and terrible and nobody wants to do this and I got to get out, woe is me. He's found a way to say, okay, these are the rules, let's go get them. It's very Nate Oates is in that same boat, right? I don't think he's like, okay, and all of a sudden my program's good because this is the new rules, and I'm not whining,
You said Dan Hurley's different. I've always thought Dan Hurley reminds me of Jim Harbaugh. Who would be more difficult to do 12 hours in a car with, Harbaugh or Dan Hurley?
Boy, well, Dan Hurley. Okay, Dan Hurley. You could spend 12. He's a really smart guy. So he'd be very interesting. I don't think Harbaugh would just be. Either one would be fine. Harbaugh, like, he would come up with just like Harbaugh would start talking about like, do aliens exist or something? I mean, he's just the shift in topics would be insane. It would just be like you have no idea what's coming next with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, but
Danny Hurley would be like a normal conversation. He just might get mad at the bus driver for like missing an exit. But Harbaugh would just, I don't even know. Like, how does the manhole stay in a circle? The Romans invent. You have no idea where it's going with Harbaugh. I've had conversations with Harbaugh, and you just don't. The interview is, like he got in trouble for not being straightforward with NCAA investigators. They said, they're asking him like, did you have a meal with these recruits outside the dead period? And he couldn't really remember, and his answers weren't. I'm like, he obviously did it, right? I'm not defending him like he's innocent, but like at the same time, like, did anyone ever get a straight answer out of Jim Harbaugh about anything? Like, he just started talking about raising chickens in his backyard. Who the hell knows what he's going to quote? So Hurley would be fine. Harbaugh would be far more interesting.
Dan Wetzel, Yahoo Sports national columnist, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, at Dan Wetzel on Twitter. But it might be in a car ride Billy Joel the whole time. I don't know if you're a Billy Joel guy. I assume Dan Hurley is.
12 hours of it.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of Billy Joel.
That's a lot of Billy Joel.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Piano Man, all that.
Lance mentioned Game 5 tonight. As I was saying when you came on, once it gets 3-0, you got to reel me back in somehow. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I am that guy, Dan, that once it's 3-0, you're going to have to convince me I need to watch again. And I don't know that I need to watch again. I mean, Boston closes this thing out tonight, right?
I would think so. They did this in hockey too. Florida just didn't do anything up in Edmonton in Game 4. They're up 3-0, and we're all like, they just want to get back to Miami and have the post-game cup parties in South Beach, not an Edmonton ballroom, right? At the Hilton City Center, Edmonton or something. They're like, yeah, let's just do this in Miami. Yeah, that's the old saying, like a series doesn't begin until someone wins on the other team's home court. Like, so the series hasn't even started for Dallas. You go win Game 5, now we got something. And what's Porzingis' health? Now you're Game 6, and there's a lot can happen. But until that point, I would expect Boston's going to win by 20-something points. I mean, they you get up 3-0, even if you're like, we got to close them out, no breathing room. It's just natural. You get down a little bit and you say, I forget it, right? We're not going to get this. Let's rest up. Let's go take care. We got 4 shots at this. Next one's the one we really want. So I don't know if I'll watch much of that tonight myself. It'll just be, if it's close, I'll click over, but monitor the score, but I would not make appointment viewing the Game 5 of this unless you're a big Celtics fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things like, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard comparison. Like,
but today, I don't know if you guys realized, anniversary of the Celtics' last championship 16 years ago, 2008.
It's been 16 years.
16 years, yeah.
So that was the 3-party? Paul Pierce, Ray Allen.
That's when.
How did these fans survive such a drought?
I don't know.
Sad,
I mean,
Boston fans.
That is a long drought.
2 Super Bowls and a World Series since then, or something.
Yeah, it was Kevin Garnett. Anything's possible, right?
Yeah. God, that has been that long ago, huh?
16 years ago. Back before we were doing a show together.
Yeah. Well, then I guess they'll be partying in the streets tonight in Boston.
Yes.
7:30 ABC. Boston, a 6.5-point favorite at mybookie.ag if you want to watch that one. Epic Athletes, by the way, I think they're over Dan's right shoulder. Is that an Epic Athletes collection there behind you, Dan?
We got a few of them here. Yeah, we got a little.
Yeah, let's see some artwork.
We have an updated Simone Biles this summer.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
For your Olympic viewing, and they're working on Caitlin Clark right now.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to get Angel Reese for that book?
The Caitlin Clark Epic Athletes got more complicated. We're going to stick to the, Caitlin.
Hey, how dumb was that for her not to be on the Olympic team? We were out last week, me and Brown both, so I didn't really get to discuss it, but just makes no sense. Like, I don't like women's basketball, but I probably check in if she's playing.
Well, as someone who has to go to the Olympics, has to. I have the privilege of being a columnist at the Olympics again. I don't want to make it sound like I'm digging ditches in Paris, but I was outraged because I wanted to write about Caitlin Clark at the Olympics. But so I think you can make a compelling case either way. And I would say in defense of the Olympic team, I think almost everyone would agree that the team should be picked on merit and the decision of, is this the best team? Like, do we really want to live in a world where marketing trumps merit? And now if you want to argue she's one of the 12 best players and she'd help the team, have at it. I'm not going to, that's a separate argument. But if this group of people, and they're, it's Don Staley's on there, there's all these people on there, they have a committee, they determine, you don't sit there and say, well, we should put someone on for marketing. It should be merit. I think all of us would like the world to be judged by merit over that. That said, it's a subjective team, right? This isn't like the swimming trials or whatever they got going, where it's like, you're faster, you're slower, this is it. And you can put people on for all sorts of reasons. You can put them on for leadership and experience. You can put them on because they're a great practice player. You can put them on because just in case we need a third, center. You can also put a young player on and say, hey, this is going to be our future. We want her or any athlete to get some Olympic experience when they're not the key player. She's only going to play a few minutes a game, but she gets that experience. And then the next 3 Olympics, she's going to be, we project her to be our main player, or one of our main players. So you could certainly do all that and bolster interest in this team. They're going to win regardless. This is a low stakes operation, but I think you can make both cases, and I think both of them make sense on their own level. So I can't really get outraged. I just sort of like, it would have been more fun to have her there as a writer.
He is Dan Wetzel. He will be in Paris, so enjoy that. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. The Olympics are always just it's fun. Couple weeks of just mayhem. Anything happens.
Anything could happen.
Did they at least took you up you got a good hotel though?
I don't know. Well, generally you find out when you get there. They all say they're good. When I was in Russia, famously, I had no doorknobs on my hotel room. Did not have a doorknob or a shower curtain, but it had like 87 coat hangers. It was a very interesting.
Well, they normally short you on the coat hangers.
How does one secure the door without a doorknob?
Well, you don't do anything when you leave. And then when you're sleeping, you just kind of push something up against it, but that really isn't going to do much. And you just hope like the German TV cameraman down the hall isn't actually a homicidal maniac looking to kill random internet columnists. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you didn't have any choice. I was like, I went back down to the desk. I'm like, they just built these things, right? It's like temporary. I'm like, I don't have a doorknob. And I'm trying to say this, like they were speaking Russian. I mean, it's just, the Russian word for doorknob? I didn't. I mean, I'm not one to complain about a room, but it's like, seems like one of the main things, right?
Low bar right there.
A doorknob. We start with that.
Did you check the Yelp listing? I thought the doorknob came included. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? I don't have a doorknob. And they didn't have an answer either. They didn't know why I didn't have a doorknob. So the door, about 10 days in, my request for a doorknob was granted. And that was pretty exciting. Yes. So that was a fun day. Yeah.
Dan, thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
All right, we'll see you. Dan Wetzel with us from Yahoo Sports, at Dan Wetzel on Twitter, if you want the link to those books we were talking about that got us started on that rabbit hole. Woodhouse Day Spa, by the way. If you don't have a doorknob, you got a lot of stress. I don't know. I can't make a transition like that.
Hey, maybe you forgot to get Dad something. What about the gift of relaxation from our friends at the Woodhouse Day Spa? You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatments, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa voted America's best day spa since 2009, and you can order that special person gift online right now, 24/7. Very simple. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution for any occasion. You can buy them 24/7 online, or just stop in, see Stuart and the great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. It's the Woodhouse Day Spa at the Summit Shopping Centers.
I saw Dan Patrick was discussing that whole. I just saw random things when I was on vacation. I happened to see Dan Patrick, and he's like, "Okay, Caitlin Clark's on the Olympic team. Who are you going to leave off?" And I'm like, that's a good point. I can't name 12 WNBA players. I don't know if she's one of the 12 best. Is it 12?
Yeah, I
don't know if she's one of the 12 best players.
I don't know if she is. I know Christian Laettner, when he was on the Dream Team, he wasn't one of the best 12 in the world.
No, they just wanted a college guy.
They wanted a college guy on there because it was the first time they had ever gone professional. But at the same time, if you're trying to build awareness for your sport, as Dan said, they've never lost in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And so they're going
and they're not going to this time. Yeah.
So and Caitlin Clark, I think you can make an argument. She is she's got a turnover problem right now, but I think you can at least make an argument that she belongs. And for the awareness of the game, that's my only point. Like a guy like me, I'm not going to watch, but maybe if she's playing, maybe I would.
Well, the report I saw was they were fearful of fan reaction to her lack of playing time. So you gave her 0 playing time. That made no sense whatsoever. Yeah. Right? If that's what you're worried about, well, we're worried about the fan reaction if she only gets 7 minutes a game. So we've decided to give her exactly 0 minutes a game. That really makes no sense.
You can really give her as many minutes as you want because it's a moot point because they're going to win another goal.
Yeah. Again, I'm not going to get wound up about it because I'm probably not going to watch it with or without her.
Well, I just think for what she's done for the women's game, and we know how much better has travel gotten for the WNBA this year?
Yeah, they're on charters now, yeah.
Based on her.
Yeah.
So what she's already done for the women's game, I think it was deserving.
Yeah. I was not going to watch – I don't watch a ton of the Olympics. I might watch some of the men's, probably not.
Yeah,
I really can't even tell you who's on the men's team.
Well, and it's gotten so out of whack, like what time they're playing. Like, hey, they're tipping off against Greece at 7 a.m. Don't care.
Yeah. So I'm not going to get so wound up about it as some people, but it was a weird explanation that we are worried about the lack of playing time. Okay, so we'll give her 0 playing time. That did not make a whole lot of sense to me. May I ask you what this little...
this is a hand-carved ram that Leighton and Jack gave me.
For Father's Day?
Yeah.
What a cool gift.
Yeah, I just told her it's going to be on set with me every day. But
every single day, huh?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. It's going to be hard to keep up with.
Are you going to leave it up here, or are you going to take it with you everywhere you go?
Yeah, I'll leave it up here.
If you're in Inception, that'd be your totem.
Yeah.
This was one of my...
I'm alive!
Don't ever let anybody else touch it.
My Father's Day gifts from the kids yesterday.
Yeah, that is such a cool. I've seen it on the desk all day, and I've noticed you playing with it a little bit. And I couldn't tell. I thought it was an elephant from here.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where you would think that because of the gray.
I see now that it's a ram, though.
Yeah.
That is a cool gift.
Yeah.
How about that? What thoughtful kids you
I
have.
know, man. Great kids.
All right, when we return, we'll unveil team number 18 in our 40 and 40. We're going to go to the Big 12, a team that I think can win that conference to be a college football playoff contender. You guys voted them 18th, though. Our MyBookie.ag 40 and 40, that is next on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @thelancetaylor.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
So I mentioned earlier, if you missed it, Stallions destroyed the Brahmas 25-0 in the UFL Championship game. That is nothing new for the Stallions. They have won every championship they have played for in this iteration of Birmingham Spring Professional League. Easily the most successful one the city of Birmingham has ever had. 3 straight championships and 4 total losses? Is that right? 3 total losses?
I think it's 4.
4 total losses in 3 years. It's been an insane run. Here is Skip Holtz, the victorious coach, after the game.
It is hard to continue to win. You put a target on your chest, and everybody's shooting for you, and everybody's circling that game, and you are going to get everybody's best effort. But as I have told the team, the only thing that's better than playing against the Stallions is having the opportunity to play for them. And the pride that they take knowing that everybody's going to take their best shot at us. It is stages of a championship you have to go through as a football team. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but you have to learn how to compete, then you got to learn how to win, but then you got to learn how to handle winning. And that is probably one of the hardest steps to take. But the championship culture really takes off when you learn how to handle winning and your players take over the culture. You know what? As I said before, I'm just a fired college football coach that, you know what, they're surrounding them around great people and great talent, and we're finding a way to win some games.
We've talked a lot on this show about image rehab with Bryson DeChambeau. That guy has rehabbed his image. And again, when you look back at La Tech, you're like, why was it such a bad image? The guy's won more at La Tech than just about anybody recently.
Yeah, and hey, look, Skip seems like a humble guy. I remember Skip being the coach. I don't remember a lot of sound bites from Skip Holtz.
No, not really. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention.
If he's changed at all, but I love the self-deprecation of, hey, I'm just a fired college football coach.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a sense, he's kind of getting the last laugh. I've watched a lot more Stallions, and I haven't watched a ton of it. I've watched a lot more than I have Louisiana Tech.
Yep.
And again, we just gave you the Sonny Cumbie numbers. They are 3-9. Tell us about Michelson Laser Vision real quick, and I'll make one more point on that.
Yeah, make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, in my opinion, best in the business. Again, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Went in, got the procedure done. I now have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Also ask about the pre-inflation pricing. Stop procrastinating. If you wear the glasses or contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. Now is the time to call 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Do you remember the 2 La Tech coaches before Lou Holtz, or Skip Holtz, excuse me?
Hold on. Sonny Dykes,
who was 5-7, 8-5, and 9-3.
And give me the initials.
Well, DD.
Daryl Dawkins,
Chocolate Thunder.
Donald Driver.
No, not Donald Driver, the former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers.
Who was it?
Derek Dooley.
8-5
and 4-8. That got him the Tennessee job, right?
Did it?
No, he didn't go straight from La Tech to Tennessee, did he?
I don't think.
There's no way.
Yeah,
not with that record. Yeah, he did. He was Tennessee in 2010.
Boy, does that tell you how bad the Tennessee program was at that point?
What were they doing?
Well,
5-7, 8-5, 4-8.
I guess Lane Kiffin had just taken off to take the SC job,
in
right?
the middle of the night.
Yeah, so I guess they were kind of bad timing.
I guess so, but dude was 5-7, 8-5, and 4-8. What did you see in Derek Dooley where you're like, there's the guy I want to put in my program. I want to put it in his hands. Have you seen what he's done at La Tech? Yeah, he's basically under 500 at La Tech. Why am I going to hire him at Tennessee? I mean, that was a weird hire in hindsight, Derek Dooley. So, yeah, those are the two coaches before Skip Holtz there. All right, let's unveil our latest team. This is team number 18 in our MyBookie.ag. 40-40, code next round when you go to MyBookie.ag. We're about to talk about a lot of regular season games for this team. You're going to be able to play all those games. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-on bonus. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-on bonus. Now, let's unveil it. Team number 18 from the Big 12, Kansas State, the team I think wins the Big 12 this year. This is too low for K-State.
Look, I had them 13th personally. I think they've got a really good opportunity this year. A lot of this just depends on how good Avery Johnson's going to be. And this might ultimately be the biggest recruit they've ever signed in the program history. You saw flashes last year. It's one of the reasons Will Howard took off to Ohio State. It's hard to believe to say the more talented quarterback resides in Manhattan, Kansas than Columbus, Ohio.
That is hard to say.
But a lot of people believe that. And you look at Chris Kleiman, the job he's done over the last couple of years, 19-8 over the last 2 years. He's won a Big 12 championship, going for his second and third and 3 years. And the good news for Kansas State is the Big 12 is wide open, as you said. No Texas, no Oklahoma. Texas had beat them 7 straight times. They'd only won 24% of their lifetime games against Oklahoma. So 2 programs they didn't have a lot of success with. And now they get an opportunity to kind of start fresh. You got a new offensive coordinator. Now that you lose Colin Klein, Connor Riley will come in. Matt Wells, former Texas Tech coach, is joining the staff to help out with the quarterbacks. Defense is going to be lights out. 2 question marks, wide receivers and the offensive line where you lose 4 starters. But if Avery Johnson's as good as the potential can be, and the spot we saw him last year in the bowl game, he was fantastic. I think Kansas State is a sleeper this year.
Yeah, I think they play for the Big 12 championship. When you look at their schedule, pretty comfortable start. UT Martin at Tulane, game 2 for our guy John Summerall down there at Tulane. But then that Friday night Fox game against Arizona, it is a home game, interesting. Then at BYU, interesting. And then Oklahoma State back home. That's an interesting little stretch for them. Arizona on the road at BYU and Oak State. 3 big Big 12 games for them right out of the chute in the month of September.
I think they're going to be favored in their first 6 games. West Virginia gets interesting.
Yeah, that's a road game off the bye. They're at Colorado, then at West Virginia.
At Houston, they'll probably be favored.
Yeah.
Iowa State might be a slight favorite, but yeah, they've got an opportunity. I mean, they could be favored in 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, I like this team. And again, once they get past that first bye week, you're at Colorado, you're at West Virginia, which could be tricky. Kansas and the Sunflower Showdown, is that what they still call that? Kansas and Kansas State, the Sun, we used to live out there. The Sunflower Showdown, they get that at home, at Houston.
And that'll be a hell of a game because
a great game.
Utah is going to be your favorite to win the Big 12, but then I think it's Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I think that group, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, I think your Big 12 championship game participants come out of that group. I think 2 of those 3 teams play for the Big 12 championship.
Yep, I agree.
Kansas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. And obviously they play all those teams there, or both those teams there. Oklahoma State right at the end of September, and then Kansas right before Halloween. Both those games at home. That's why I like Kansas State there to play for the Big 12 championship. That is team number 18, Kansas State, the Wildcats. And our 40-40 presented by MyBookie. Lance mentioned they could be favorites in 10 games. You'll be able to play every single one of those games at MyBookie.ag. Code next round, MyBookie.ag. That is code next round when you go to MyBookie.ag. Michael Bishop is being discussed.
It's not right. It's L. Roberson was the quarterback with Sproles.
Okay, is that who they're talking about?
Yeah, because that was in 2003, and you'll remember this.
Bishop was the best quarterback they had in that run.
Or 2004, 2000. Yeah, Michael Bishop was the quarterback that lost to A&M in the Big 12 championship game in '98.
Sir Parker and Texas A&M. I remember Sir Parker had a big run in that game, didn't he?
Yep.
Like a big touchdown run that sealed it away.
And they had a lead at halftime. I think they were close to a double-digit favorite going into that game. If they win, they play Tennessee for the national championship.
Think about that for a second. Bill Snyder had them a championship game win away from playing for the national championship. That's crazy.
And Bishop was your Heisman runner-up. He was that good, played for the Patriots for a little bit. But L. Roberson was the guy that went to the Fiesta Bowl. They actually lost Fiesta Bowl, I think, to Ohio State, but the week before they ran Oklahoma off the field. Oklahoma still played for the national championship and got destroyed by not USC. Who was it? Wasn't the LSU year, was it?
Could have been.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oklahoma lost Big 12 championship, still played for national championship.
Yeah. So that's our team, Kansas State, and Bill Snyder built that program out of nothing.
I think they're 10-2 this year.
I do too. I think they play for the conference championship. I like this team. I like Kansas State, and I think y'all got them too low at number 18 in our mybookie.ag 40-40. All right, we got Trash and Four Downs coming up in the next hour, and also Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, had some records. And we'll play the old happy sad game with the fan base. Give this a thumbs up, thumbs down based on Brad's projections. Dr. B, though, helping you grow that hair back.
Hey, best in the business. You're actually working on it right now as well, right?
Yes.
The non-invasive treatment, we both do it 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Dr. B pioneered the use of NeoGraft hair restoration in Alabama, remains at the forefront of hair preservation in the Southeast, takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce those quality results for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of The Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
It is a Monday show. Dunaway Enjoying vacation this week. I'm Ryan Brown, Lance Taylor here with me on the next round. Rockstar, Scott, Lunceford, Tyler, Little T, EG, the entire gang here. We will be with you for just a little while longer here. 4 Downs coming up this hour and trash as well. Also, I'm told this Gordon Ramsay. Have you seen this photo?
I have not.
Let's do it now.
What did he?
It's rough, Rockstar.
Is it a mugshot?
No.
Let Scott explain.
Scott's going to explain, but Scott told me, he said, have you seen the Gordon Ramsay photo? I said, no. I saw one of those news headlines that popped up on my phone, but I didn't bother to read the story. But it sounds like Scott cheated death in a bicycle accident.
Okay, so apparently Gordon Ramsay is an avid cycler, which I did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was unaware.
wouldn't have seen that.
Nope.
So here is a picture of Gordon Ramsay as a cyclist.
Okay, Gordon Ramsay is a cyclist. All right, he's got on the uncomfortably fitting cycling gear ready to go.
Not a good look.
No, I mean, very few, even like world-class Tour de France cyclists.
I like to be vacuum sealed.
Yeah, even they don't pull it off real
Here's
well.
the thing. He's not really going for time. Maybe cyclists do. They want to beat their own personal time. But I think I would give up a little wind resistance to not look like that.
Like even the top-end Tour de France guys, you're not like, that uniform looks pretty good on him. It's not a good look.
Hey,
for
if that
him.
is the before, boy, I really hate to see the after.
Scott tells me that the after is going to kill us. So what happened, Scott?
He looked a little bit better before this happened.
Yeah.
I don't know specifics, but he had a little mishap. You ready?
I don't know if I am, man. The way you've built this up, I'm scared. All right, go. Oh, is that a bruise?
That's a bruise.
That is a bruise.
That's a hell of a bruise.
Holy crap.
Yeah, the bruise is bad, but I can't tell really what's on the left.
That's
his helmet.
His mangled helmet.
Yeah, and his shirt, his tight-fitting shirt.
Hey, good thing he was wearing a helmet.
Holy crap at that
You know,
bruise.
he almost died a couple of years ago in some kind of snow hiking situation.
Right.
And I also remember he was supposed to be this badass soccer player, but he screwed his knee up and went to culinary stuff. I think it worked out, but still, he was supposed to be this amazing soccer player.
I would say he's made more on the food side than he was going
To
on the
me,
soccer.
he is one of the more entertaining guys out there.
I mean, the guy has like 18 shows. One of the best hot ones. He's an entertaining guy. He's a good yeller.
Does he ever like anything he eats, though? Like if somebody cooks it? Does he?
If I like it, it's expected. Brown, that was good.
Yeah.
But if it's awful, I am going to chastise the hell.
Spit it out.
I expect it to be good. You don't get praise from it. That was really good. That's what you're going to get.
Like I watch on TikTok, for some reason, a while ago, he got my algorithm. And I don't know which show it was. I think it's Restaurant Rescue or something like that. Was that his show?
Oh, my God.
No, it was Hell's Kitchen.
Kitchen Nightmares.
No, this is when he goes to the restaurants.
That's Kitchen Nightmares.
Is that Kitchen Nightmares? So he goes to the restaurants and he picks, like, give me the 5 most popular things on the menu. I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try that. And they bring it out, and every single time he takes a bite, he's like, oh, that's disgusting.
Well, he says microwave, go to the waitress, and he's like, do you sell this? And she's like, yes, this is our most popular thing, lasagna. He's like, this is the worst lasagna I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
She'll go to the cook. He said it's the worst he's ever had in his life.
Oh, what's he know?
I've been a cook here for 32 years.
You sell that bastard.
This is all microwave.
Hey, and every walk-in cooler is disgusting.
Oh, yeah. This is expired 2016.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'll tell you, it seemed a lot more scripted when they did it in the United States, but the old BBC version.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of those places he was going,
Great
wow.
show.
How about Troy? Troy says it's his dream to study under Gordon Ramsay. Boy, I would not want to do that. That it's not so fun at all.
You're going to need a thick skin.
But, I do wonder, like when we were in Vegas, I saw that big restaurant that he's opened out there, and there are more of them, but I saw the one in Vegas.
The Hell's Kitchen is in Vegas.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sure he's just selling his name. Like, I doubt Gordon is going in there saying, let's put a little more rosemary in this. And if we could cook that at 400 instead of 385, I think it would be better, right? I don't think Gordon's doing that on the day-to-day. But, like, I expect that to be the best meal I've ever had, the way he tears people apart when I go in Hell's Kitchen. And I bet you it's not.
I don't think he's got – I mean, he is brought in, hey, we'll give you 10% of this restaurant to endorse it.
He sold his name on it. There's no doubt.
Yeah, for him to be involved, like I would think maybe every now and then he strolls through and everybody gets
just waves,
tense and freaks out. I'm surprised though that, you wonder if he's still like that. I guess he doesn't have to be.
Well, it's an act now. It's a character.
Yeah, he's got to be like that.
But
now,
I don't
right?
think he could be like that in today's society.
No. His show's still success. Hell's Kitchen's got to be on season like 85.
Like I've worked with people in the past that, I mean, they'd be on the phone to HR immediately.
Oh gosh, yes, the way he treats people, yeah.
Called a girl a donkey. Donkey.
Rusty says, didn't a kid from Alabama win the kid version of his show recently? Absolutely, he did. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, as a kid, he's down from the Auburn, Montgomery area, somewhere down in there. Gosh, I could almost say his name, and it's just on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, Opelika, Matthew says, yeah, I knew he was from down in that part of that neck of the woods. I saw that somewhere that that kid did win. So congrats to him, man.
What did he win?
I mean, what?
It's like junior chef or something. I don't know.
Were you able to cook as a kid? Like
very few things.
Yeah, I was microwaving. I would take white bread and put like this pasta sauce and mozzarella cheese on it. I'd microwave that. Yeah,
like Prego?
cheese and crackers. Yeah. I mean, I could do the mac and cheese out of a box.
I remember when we were really little. My sister and I stayed up really late, and we just, threw everything into a muffin pan, like any salt, pepper, paste, oregano, all this stuff, and put it in the oven.
I bet your mom loved that in the morning.
Because my dad got up so early, we put a little note that said, "Dad, we made these especially for you." I'm just like, imagine what, I know you probably, there's no way in hell he tasted it, but there was like 12 just everything muffins.
How far you had to go to throw those things away?
Those were delicious. We can make them again. No.
Yeah.
Troy says no, he creates the menus for all of his restaurants, trains his head chefs in high-end restaurants, or 10,000% still like that, a ton of yelling and belittling.
I mean,
well, I guess you know what you're getting into.
I guess so. Yeah, you can't go work from Gordon Ramsay and think it's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he gets to yell more than coaches now because of the transfer portal.
Yeah. Champy's world famous fried chicken. He would love it if he went there. You know what he would like, Rockstar? Those two big breasts.
The Jimmy Titty special.
Especially Champy's world famous fried chicken.
He would say best tamales. He'd be like, this hidden gem of a place is in Birmingham.
I know. If you eat those Delta recipe tamales, you will absolutely love them. We do on this show. Sterling and the entire gang at Champy's world famous fried chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. They're open for lunch right now. Champy'sChicken.com. They are bringing you this hour of the next round. All right. So our buddy Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, just takes a stab at every record in the Southeastern Conference. I'm not going to hit all these 16 teams now, by the way, so it's taking a little bit longer. But I just want to ask you a few. Happy, sad fan base. He projects Vandy last, but he's got State at 4-8, 1-7 in the conference, finishing 15th in Jeff Lebby's first year. I don't know what expectations are for Jeff Lebby. Do you think if I told State fans you're 4-8, 1-7, and 15th in the conference, they're going to say, "Nah, it's okay, it's his first year"?
I doubt they're going to say, "Yeah, that's okay, it's his first year." I mean, he's not going to be on a hot seat if he goes 4-8.
No.
But tell me how the 8 losses are. Are they competitive games?
That's right. And it's one of the 4 wins somebody we weren't supposed to beat, or we just went in 4 layups.
Yeah, I mean, if they're getting absolutely smoked in those losses, then and I would also say is one of those 4 wins. Yeah, is it against Ole Miss? Did you prevent Ole Miss from getting to a college football playoff? Well, then it's probably a hell of a season. You're coming off a 5-7, 1-7 in conference. I mean, you can't be much worse.
He's got Arkansas 4-8, 1-7, finishing 14th. That probably gets Sam Pittman fired.
Probably does.
That answers your question whether they're happy or sad there.
Yep.
He's got South Carolina 5-7, 2-6, finishing 13th.
I think that's about right, and then I think it puts Beamer on a hot seat going into 2025.
Yep. Kentucky 6-6, 2-6, finishing
very
12th.
disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Yep.
Stoops has built it to the point where 6-6. They think they're better than that.
No, and we used to think 6-6 pretty solid year in Lexington, but 6-6 this year. I don't think Kentucky fans are going to go for that at all. Coming off the 7-6 last year.
Florida 6-6, 3-5.
Oh yeah, I think they take it.
I think they would too.
Yep.
How sad is that?
Look, it's an improvement from over the 5-7, and you're going to have to beat some quality teams to get to 6 wins.
Auburn, he's got it 8-4, 4-4, finishing the 10th, finishing 10th in the league. Now here are his projected losses: Oklahoma, Missouri, Georgia, Alabama. Basically, the 4 best teams they play on their schedule, they lose to, according to him.
I think that would be a satisfying year for Auburn fans.
It's the breaking point, as Scott shows you the Auburn schedule. Like, that's the midpoint. Like, anything less than that is disappointing. Anything more than that is encouraging. That is just like, okay.
And 8, I'm going to be kind of like, I really don't know where this is going. Because I had a conversation about Hugh over the weekend, and I think he's a hell of a coach. It's just mean, this conference is so loaded right now. I think Auburn's going to be better than 8-4. I think 9 wins, 10 wins. I think Auburn fans are super excited coming off 6 wins last year. But I'm with you. 8 is kind of that base.
I don't know that his fans are happy or sad. That was the point of this conversation. I don't know if Auburn fans are happy or sad with 8-4. I think they're just they're there at 8-4.
But I'll say this. Whether it's 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins this year, there's going to be a big expectation in year 3.
I agree. The first lap through the SEC for Oklahoma, he projects them at 8-4 and 4-4 in conference.
I think you would take that from Brent Venables. I thought it was a nice bounce back year 2 for Venables. But you look at their schedule. We talk about Florida's schedule, probably the most difficult. Oklahoma's probably right there with it.
Yeah, it's tough. Much tougher than what Texas got, as their fans like to point out.
So there's Oklahoma. You could give me 8 wins out of there.
That's tough.
Or give me 4 losses. So,
I mean, his projected losses for Oklahoma, Brad Crawford, 24/7, Texas, Missouri, Alabama, LSU.
Okay, well, if I'm Oklahoma and I'm winning, so he's got them beating Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a big win.
You beat Tennessee at home and then Auburn on the road in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
And that's probably got them starting, 5-0?
Yeah. See, that's going to be part of the problem, though. You start 5-0 and you finish 8-4.
Yeah. Then it's going to look like, hey, everything fell apart at the end.
Yep. Missouri, Brad Crawford projects them 8th in the league, 9-3, 5-3. I think that's a disappointment for Missouri fans. I don't think they would be happy with that. He's got them losing to A&M, Alabama, and South Carolina. That South Carolina loss, that'd be a tough loss.
Well, I go back to, was it 2006 where Missouri, 2007 maybe, where they were number 1 and they were playing Kansas. They end up winning that game. They play Oklahoma for the Big 12 championship. If they win that game, they play for the BCS national championship. In 2010, if they beat Auburn, they play for the BCS national championship against Florida State. So if I'm a Missouri fan, we're coming off 11 wins. We've got basically all of the key parts coming back to this team. I'm college football or bust, or college football playoff or bust.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Well,
but I think if you're 10-2 in the regular season, which you were last year,
and you brought back what you're bringing back, at 9-3, their fans would not be happy with that. He says A&M 9-3, 5-3 in the conference. I think in the first year for Mike Elko, that's pretty good.
I mean, it's a 2-game improvement.
Yeah.
I think based on everything going on right now in the SEC, you would take that, and especially if one of those 9 wins is Texas.
Well, he says, let me look at that real quick.
Bet he's got Texas winning that game.
No, he's got them losing to Florida, LSU, and Auburn.
He's got Texas?
No, he's got Texas A&M losing projected losses, Florida, LSU, and Auburn.
Oh, so he's got them beaten.
Yeah, that is, if he's 9-3 beats Texas, yes.
Yeah, and that is a loss that could possibly keep Texas out of a college football playoff.
How bad would that loss be for Sark right there at the end of the year?
Be bad.
Yep. LSU, Brad Crawford projects them 10-2, 6-2, the 2 losses, Alabama and Florida. Would be a huge win for Florida, I know that.
Well, let me just ask you this. Does LSU get in with that? I don't think they're playing for the SEC championship, which could be a benefit.
Well, they would have beaten USC at that point. They would have beaten Ole Miss at that point. They would have beaten A&M at that point. I think that probably gets them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably gets them in.
LSU fans, as long as we're in, you're coming off, 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons or an 11-win season?
He's got Alabama, Brad Crawford does, 10-2, 6-2 in conference, losses to Georgia and Tennessee. We played the happy sad game. I think Alabama fans aren't happy with that.
Well, it depends. Is that 10-2? Are you playing for the SEC championship?
Yeah, there's your question. Yeah, I mean,
in year 1, if Kalen DeBoer goes 10-2, you've got those 2 losses, you beat Auburn, and you get to a college football playoff. I think Alabama fans can stomach that.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right about that. I don't know what. Again, I don't know the exact record that everybody would say, okay, this is good, and I just completely lost this list for some stupid reason on my internet. I don't know, Lance, the exact record where everybody says, okay, this is a complete success, this is a complete disaster. I think there is a fine line between that where it's either going to be a complete success or a complete disaster. I just don't know there's going to be a whole lot of in between.
To me,
college football playoff helps that.
The most fascinating team in this conference is going to be Ole Miss.
Yep, we're not there yet.
Yeah, and Texas.
Yep.
And different reasons.
He's got Tennessee 10-2, 6-2. Losses to Oklahoma and Georgia. Tennessee fans, I'd take that right now, wouldn't they?
Well, I mean, look, if it goes down like this, there's going to be a collection of 4 or 5 teams hovering around getting into the college football playoff or not. And Can you imagine on that selection day where you've got it's just SEC team, SEC team, SEC team?
Because the way Brad does this, he's got a bunch of 10-2 teams because he's got Georgia 10-2 and 6-2. They would not be happy with that.
Yeah, over in the mybookie.ag chat, Tyler says at 10-2, I don't want to be in the SEC championship game. You don't?
No, you do not. Because he's got Ole Miss at 10-2, 6-2. I think they'd be happy with that.
Where are their 2 losses?
Oklahoma and LSU. And then he's got Texas 11-1, and their only loss Texas A&M.
Okay, so
he's got here's what Brad has. And this would be fascinating if it turned out this way. He's got Ole Miss 10-2, Georgia 10-2, Tennessee 10-2, Alabama 10-2, and LSU. He's got 6 10-2 teams, which I guess he's done the schedules mathematically, obviously, as possible. Can you imagine that if you've got 6 10-2 teams?
No, but
you're right. You don't want to be the one that goes to Atlanta.
You don't. Because he's got Texas at 11-1, so they're obviously there. Texas can absorb a loss in the championship game if that is the scenario. They still would get in.
That said, I think the SEC swings a big enough stick. They would be like, we're not going to let a championship game participant left out of the playoffs. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but
I think the SEC and the Big Ten swing that stick and say, we can't have a scenario where a team goes to Atlanta and it knocks them out for a team that didn't go to Atlanta.
Well, that's going to be your problem because if you've got, let's say, 7 or 6 10-2s, and one of those 10-2s goes and loses, and then they're out, and then 4 of the other 5 are in, you're like, well, so we don't want to play for the SEC championship where we can get in?
And you can't create that atmosphere if you're the conferences. Now,
I think coming 3 losses, we've never seen a 2-loss get into BCS or 14 playoff.
Right.
3 is going to be that mark. I think sooner or later you're going to see a 3-loss team that will get in, but you don't want to lose your final game to give you that third loss.
That's right.
It would be hard for me to see a world where you have a team losing their third game.
Yeah, and getting in. I know. I mean, that does make it tricky, right? If you got a bunch of 10-2 teams, and then if Texas goes on or whoever is that 11-1, 12-0 team goes on and wins the conference, and on one hand, you've got a team that just played in Indianapolis or Atlanta, and if you're the conference, you've got to fight for that team. You can't have a world where my conference championship knocks one of my teams out, but the 3 teams that didn't go to the conference championship all get in. I mean, you can't live in that world if you're one of the conference commissioners. But it's hard to envision a team getting their 3rd loss right before the field is unveiled and they still get in.
Yep.
Both those are hard. Both those are hard
Charles
to see.
is right. LSU did have 2 losses in 2007.
They did. Yeah. They did 2 overtime losses. Yeah. Les Miles, talked about earlier on the show, said they were undefeated in regulation.
Yeah.
That's what Les said.
And that was his national championship team that had 2 losses.
Yeah, it was.
Still not a Hall of Fame coach to me. But.
Well, he's certainly not right now unless he wins the lawsuit. So that's what Brad Crawford thinks will happen there at 24/7. A bunch of 10-2 teams, according to Brad. And
I kind of hope that happens.
Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? It'd be fun. Absolutely. All right. Coming up tonight, you're going to have a lock on the NBA Game 5, you think?
Yep.
Okay.
Coming off a winner with the Mavericks we had on Friday night. We will have Dallas-Boston Game 6, or Game 5, I should say, tonight. It is available right now at lanceslock.com.
So I will not ask you if you think the season ends, because that would be kind of a dead giveaway. No, it wouldn't. Boston's 6.5-point favorite. I guess
Boston
Dallas could
win
get inside
by
the number. Yeah,
6.
6.5. That's a big number. MyBookie.ag, 6.5-point favorite is what you find Boston there in Game 5. 7:30 ABC tonight. You can play that at lanceslock.com. Is Lock Every Day presented by Hemp Hill Services. If it doesn't run right, drain right, or flow right, you need to call our guys at Hemp Hill. Commercial or residential, Hemp Hill Services can help you. Hemp Hill Services, 229-2090, 229-2090. Trash is next on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at The Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, coming up when we are finished today, EG and Josh will have a live pin at Grace about 12:15. Go follow them on social media at Pin at Grace and check out the show. EG was just talking about the Braves. She's projecting them still as a wild card team. You feel good about that?
I don't know. I mean, you've got to have multiple wild card teams. We know the Phillies, that thing's over. That's not Buster saying it. That's me.
That's you saying it?
Yeah. I mean, probably.
You think they're a wild card team?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So Pin at Grace coming up live, Disrupt the Media. It will be right after the show today, about 12:15. I shouldn't say right after the show, about 12:15. You catch EG and Josh talking about the Braves and Rays. So that'll be coming up 12:15 today if you want to set your alerts and catch that one. We encourage you to set your alerts everywhere, right? For us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up on this YouTube video and set your alerts. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Next Round Live, at Next Round Live. Back in the mybookie.ag chat room, Steven says the college football playoffs should be announced the week before championship weekend. Can't do that because you don't know the seeds at that point because keep in mind, a conference champion gets an automatic top 4 seed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. You can't really do it like in the Big 12. There's a good chance you've only got the winner in the Big 12 going.
Yeah, so it just doesn't work. Maybe you could, you couldn't even really do a pool of teams. There's just no way to do it except to wait until after the conference championship games. And you could, especially if Brad Crawford's right, you could have a messy situation on your hands.
Well, I think what's going to happen here, and I don't know, how long are the television contracts under the current conference championship games?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, the SEC just redid theirs, so it's just starting.
Yeah, look, I don't think the SEC's got to really worry about this, but maybe. But if you start having teams that reach conference championship games and they're punished by not getting in the college football playoff when other teams are sitting at home, that's when you'll see this game go away, or these games go away.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to eventually anyway, especially on the ESPN side, because that's who owns the SEC and the ACC. And if they're getting more college football playoff games out of it, it's probably going to be a wash for them, right?
Right.
It's Fox, that owns the Big Ten one, and NBC and CBS, depending on which year it is. So I don't know about the Big Ten one. That one would be even more tricky. Also in the mybookie.ag chat room, Volfan205 says there were 4 10-2 or better SEC teams this past season. And OU and Texas are coming in, so you add one with Texas and Oklahoma. That's 6. He says, I think you're going to have 5 10-2 better SEC teams, and 5 are not getting in. He's right, 5 are not getting in. And I don't know what, I don't know what to do there. That, by the way, though, Lance, is why I think you're going to see better and better out-of-conference schedules over the years. What do you got to lose now, right? Yeah. One loss isn't going to kill you, and it could be the difference. Alabama playing Wisconsin could be the difference in them getting in or not getting in.
I think, obviously, TV is going to be instrumental in this. They want the matchups. I think if you want to keep attendance where it needs to be, I think you need these matchups. You don't want to see, Tennessee and Tennessee Martin. You'd rather see Tennessee and USC.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. All right, that brings us to trash. Rockstar, if you do not mind, would you please hit that big button?
The line is baked in a buttery, flaky crust.
Baked on a buttery crust. Close. Baked on a buttery, crispy crust.
Damn, flaky.
I thought I said flaky. Baked in a buttery flavored crust. Crust.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, it's home buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. They were veteran founded here in Birmingham and offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can go online to their website right now. You can apply there, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call their 280 office, 205-900-7200. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first, another lawsuit. American Airlines passenger who was gagged and bound with duct tape to her seat after being accused of attempting to open an aircraft door mid-flight has been sued by the Federal Aviation Administration.
Oh, she has been sued.
Oh, yeah.
She's not doing the suing for being bound by duct tape.
Yeah, let me ask you this. What happens if she gets sick and throws up?
Well, that's going to be probably death for her.
No, she would die.
Asphyxiation.
Thank you, Rockstar.
But also, if there's bad turbulence and she's duct taped, that duct tape could go to her neck and choke her.
Could absolutely. Yeah. You know how you avoid that, Rockstar? You don't try to open the emergency door midair.
No.
Gorilla glue.
But I mean, I think it would have been better to tranquilize her, right?
I mean, I don't imagine. Now, surprised they had duct tape on board.
Reacted, sir. That's the first thing we thought of.
I don't imagine they have a tranquilizer gun on board, but we could start carrying
Or you could hog tie or something. Heather Wells is the lady.
Right.
That is viewed right there, 34 years old, was flying from Dallas to Charlotte on July 6, 2021, when she began causing a ruckus on the aircraft, quote, biting and spitting at staff and passengers after allegedly attempting to open the front cabin door. A viral video showed her duct taped to the seat. In the aftermath of the incident, FAA first fined Wells a record $81,950 in civil penalties back in 2022 as airlines and regulators battled against a surge of wayward passengers disrupting flights. Now, the U.S. Attorney has filed a lawsuit in San Antonio's federal court on behalf of the FAA seeking to collect the money from Wells, according to the lawsuit.
Oh, so she hasn't paid her fine is the problem.
Now, the business class passenger, quote, wanted out after drinking a neat Jack Daniels as she began running to the front of the plane and attempting to grab the handle of the front cabin door, according to the lawsuit filed on June 6th. She looks like she's sleeping pretty well.
Yeah.
I think we've discussed this before because everybody has phones now. I don't travel a lot on planes, but do you think you're more likely to see something like this now?
Yeah, you are. I mean, air travel has gotten kind of crazy.
Just because it's rare, we all have phones and we want to record it.
I mean, it's almost every weekend a fight in an airport or something like that gets shared on social media. Little T almost saw a fight
look, man,
on
I know
her flight.
there's a lot of stress and people are tense when they're flying and stuff. Yeah. But I would be so aware to try to keep the composure just based on knowing that everybody on that plane is going to make sure that you don't do something.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with her being duct taped to the seat. I just assumed she was suing because of that. Like, I mean, you got to restrain her somehow. She literally tried to open the door that is going to kill us.
Now, I do think you probably have to put somebody on watch just in case.
Yeah, I don't want her getting out by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, no, I was talking more about the throwing up.
Again, I mean, I hate it for her. I don't think she needs the death penalty here, but you literally have made this bed.
So let me ask you this. She has, but if she did throw up and asphyxiate, and she passes away and her family sues the airline and wins, do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky lawsuit right there.
I think we need a better form of restraint, though.
Yeah, I think that's the offshoot of this story is the planes are going to have to be somehow stocked with restraint devices or something.
What are they, though? What's
I mean,
I think
the zip ties to the seat and zip tie their legs.
Well, I think there could be one custom seat on the plane.
And the jail seat.
I mean, hey, sir, we hate to ask you.
You're going to have to step in, please.
But you get a discount on that seat if you
has
sit
fire
in it.
ants all over it. Your problem.
Right. Yeah, I can pay $39 wherever I'm going to sit in the seat, but if they need it, I've got to vacate that seat and then take the seat of the person that's in trouble. Yeah. I kind of like that. It's got fire ants all over.
Atlanta Police Department is reminding the public that 911 is only for emergencies after dispatchers got a call about a cat box smelling up a shared boarding house.
Ugh, I hate the smell of a cat box.
Now, on Tuesday, the police department shared an audio recording of Facebook call on the call on Facebook. In a recording, a man can be heard explaining how his neighbor is not properly cleaning her cat litter's box, leaving a stench throughout the house. There's a new special on Netflix. It's called like The World's Worst Roommates.
Oh, I'm sure cat boxes. There's people that have cat boxes in their bedrooms. Like, imagine that's.
I watched this one over the weekend. It's called The Longest Third Date Ever. Have you guys heard about this?
I have not.
Yeah, me and Jack came across it. And basically, this couple had gone on 2 dates. They met on Hinge. And the third date, they're in New York City. And the dude's like, you want to go out of town? And she's like, sure. So they end up going to Costa Rica.
Okay. As one does.
As we always do.
Yeah, as one does.
Well, then pandemic hits.
Oh no! So they're only basically just a
getaway weekend. 4 days.
Out of the blue, they decided to go to Costa Rica. They've been on 2 dates, so it's the third date in Costa Rica. Now they can't get back in the United States.
Had never had sex. Had really not spent that much time together. Their third date, they decide throw caution to the wind. We're going to go to Costa Rica. They get down there. Flight canceled. How long do you think they were there?
But do they stay together? This like,
they did the entire time. And the dude
say, like,
was.
I can get my own place.
He was.
No.
Yeah, because if it's not working, I'm not spending this with you.
They get kicked out of the hotel because nobody's coming. The hotel's like, finally, they were the only people there. They were like, you got to go. So then they had to find Airbnbs. All over the country.
I will say they were stuck there for 2 weeks.
Okay, so I didn't know before, and I asked Jack, I said, how long do you think they're going to be together? And he was like, probably 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, I don't think they do a show on 2 or 3 weeks. It's probably close to a month. They went, like, her parents thought she was with friends. Her boss thought she was still in New York working remotely from New York.
Okay.
That means she's selling it, too.
Yeah, I know.
They ended up together for, I think it was 78 days.
In Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Yeah, how'd it turn out?
I don't want to ruin it if somebody's going to watch it. I know you guys won't. Yeah. Well, hey, there's a little kicker at the end. It's if you have an hour to burn.
They had 78 days
to burn. No, they thought it was good.
I just felt bad for her because this dude was he recorded everything. Like the first day they go to the bar, he's got his camera on the bar, talking about all his blog and getting them to do shots. And she was like, this dude is a complete weirdo. And so it kind of
did he have a blog before they were dating? Like he was a blogger?
She didn't know about it. Like that was his goal, was to become a big blogger.
Internet, internet star.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway,
he did it.
Longest third date. Anyway, back to this. Cat smell. Quote, I'm calling because the cat got the house smelling bad, ma'am. The man tells 911. She's trying to burn incense in here, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse, the smell. And it makes me sick to my stomach. I pay rent. I live here, ma'am. Man goes on to explain that unlike the woman's previous cat, which was allowed to go outside, the current cat is not allowed outside. Previous cat died, and the man said he buried it for her, but she had a new cat the very next day. Not a big mourning process there. Quote, she is not changing that cat pen and the stuff in there like she should, and this house stank, ma'am.
Yeah.
Just reading verbatim. 911 operator advises the man that police are on their way and he can take the issue with them. It goes on to say, quote, while we appreciate the trust you place in our services, we kindly remind everyone that 911 is reserved for emergencies of a serious nature. Place stank.
I mean,
I could bad smell.
An unclean cat box just over time. Do you know how bad it would stink?
I can't even imagine.
Terrible.
It's just the urine. That's the
Oh,
urine.
so bad.
Do you have a cat now?
We have 2.
Now, are they inside, outside, or just inside?
If anybody, unrelated to what you just asked me, if anybody wants a cat, a great Russian blue, he's a little overweight. His name is Ketis. If anybody wants a free cat, I'll include the cat box with him and some food.
What is so bad about it?
$100 bill.
Oh God, more than that. I'll pay you to take him. He's just it's just too much with a kid. It's 2 cats is too much. Indoor cats, and we just went through fleas. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I heard about the fleas.
So are they declawed?
No, we had to sign a thing we went to. Declawing is now a form of amputation. Hardly anybody does it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It's a form of amputation. It's supposed to be like it's a.
Well, they put them to sleep. They don't pull them out
I know,
with,
but you're if
with
I take
pliers.
But if you wake up tomorrow morning and I took Lance's fingernails out, you're gonna be like, "Damn, why did you do that?" Like, they're all gone.
That was me. Well,
It's a part of you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of inhumane to take
That
the
is a
claws.
bit
Well, I was
inhumane.
talking to our friend Drew, and they've got a cat that just kind of showed up, and so it's inside outside. But he was like, "This thing is a surgeon. It will get a hold of chipmunks, and it only eats certain part of the chipmunks."
Oh, we have one next door that's a killer. That will just see a chipmunk head, no blood, just a head. He is a killer.
Where's the rest of it?
I don't know. It pisses on our bushes every morning
Okay,
too.
from cats to dogs, have you ever wondered what your dog's bark means? Team of researchers at UT Arlington think they might be able to tell you.
Mine means someone has walked in the vicinity of our house. Could be on the street. Could
Kenny
be on our
Zhu,
front porch. You don't know.
Professor of computer science, UTA, told WFAA, quote, people have always tried to understand what animals are talking about. Now, Zhu received a 3-year, $483,000 National Science Foundation research grant to fund his research. He and his team of 14 students are on a mission to use machine learning and AI to decode dog words. In other words, what a dog barks might mean. They said they've collected more than 30,000 videos of dogs. Zhu's team is using the machine learning and AI technology to translate dog sounds into phonetic representations and hopefully one day words.
If this was there was a price tag on this and you could get this done, would you be interested?
I think, Lance, you would be.
Yeah, I would.
You'd love to know what your
I
dog's
would
saying.
imagine it's going to be quite expensive.
But I just, I wonder how disappointed you would be.
I think you'd be very.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just mumbling.
Food, horny,
Yeah.
horny.
Because like,
poop, pee.
you know, I am, probably a little over the top in the affection for the dogs, but like, I believe they're part of the family and I believe that they try to communicate. But if it was just, food and humping and all that.
You know what mine's going to be is, Mel's here, Mel's here, Mel's here. Neighbors are walking again. Neighbors are walking again. Neighbors are walking again. Kid coming to play with Hallie. Kid coming to play with Hallie. Kid coming to play with Hallie. That's all I'm going to hear.
You would be surprised. I think a lot more people would do this than you believe.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm guessing how expensive it would be.
Now, what I would do is wait on the sidelines, and if people are like, my dog was talking about, like, he loved the last time I gave him some scraps that were lasagna, but his favorite's Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Like, if dogs were a lot more intelligent than we believe they are, then I'd
just
be
be
all
a
about
scammer
it.
and just say you're a dog talker. I'm a dog whisperer. He's telling me he loves it when you give him beef. He's not a big chicken fan. He loves it when he's very sad when you leave him alone. He's been telling me that.
And he loves it when you give me money.
Yeah, he would like to sleep in the bed with you under the covers. He's saying that.
Dude, I got home last night from dinner, and I had put a thing of Hawaiian rolls on top of the dog's food downstairs because I'm having some work done right now in the kitchen.
Right.
And so I've got the dogs downstairs because there's really no AC on the main level right now because dude's doing my flooring right now. Just leave the door open.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're going to leave my door open, I ain't running the air for you.
Right.
So we're all downstairs.
It's going to be hot.
I know, my God.
It's damn hot when they leave the door open.
It's like building a pyramid.
But when I come downstairs where the dogs are now, so I'm keeping everything down there, they found a way to get on the counter, get the Hawaiian rolls, and destroy it.
I love Hawaiian rolls.
So
I
good.
cannot blame them for that. Did they eat like the plastic and everything?
No, they find a way to cut a hole in the plastic.
Get the
They
rolls
dissect
out?
it and they pull the rolls out, and the plastic's laying on the ground.
Those dogs, man.
Adam Grace, a psychologist in Australia, has found evidence and suggests that fans of television shows often feel a connection with the characters and experience a sense of loss when the show ends. Now, a longer a show runs, presumably the deeper the sense of loss. In his new effort, Grace focused his effort on the TV show Neighbours, which has been running in Australia and the UK for 37 years. That's our man Brian Cox, isn't it?
That is him.
I'm just giving 2 examples of people that were upset with 2 shows that are completely done.
Yeah.
Now, to better understand the sense of loss, Grace asked volunteers to fill out online surveys regarding how they felt about the show ending. In looking at responses, Grace found that he describes as high level of grief in many viewers, along with difficulty accepting that the show and their favorite characters were suddenly gone. He also noted that such feelings appear to be stronger in people who had formed parasocial relationships with the characters. Many of them thought the characters as friends of sort, or at least an extended part of their social group. He suggests the responses from viewers indicate they are experienced grief similar to the loss of a real-life partner, friend, or other close person. I hate when a great show goes away.
Yeah, it's never been to that level.
But I never feel that.
What's the one you hated to see end the most?
Probably at its time, Sopranos.
Yeah. I'll tell you, mine was Breaking Bad, because if you remember, I watched Breaking Bad after it had aired, so I binged it. And at one point, I was like, I'm going to slow the binge down because they're going too quick. Like, I watched it in the winter when you were inside a lot, and I was like clipping on 4 a day at one point. And I was like, I've got to slow this down. I want to make this last a little bit longer. And I remember when the queue was up and there were like 3 or 4 left. And I was like, man, I'm going to be sad when this show is so
I get jealous of people that haven't seen these shows before. I'm like, you're so lucky you haven't seen this. Like, Rocky, have you seen, I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones. Have you seen Succession?
We watched 1 episode. We really liked it. And it's just one of those shows we just like, I think we were going to bed. Like, let's watch this. And we both enjoyed it, but it's just like, we never got back to it. But now I'm back on to I could not do Game of Thrones, but I love House of the Dragon.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch Game of Thrones
No.
Okay.
No.
It's a prequel. But House of Dragon was good. Jack was asking me about that last night. There was preview running. And I was like, it's really good. It's not as good as Game of Thrones.
I'll tell you another one that got me too, get ready for the bell, was Mad Men, because Jennifer and I watched that together, and it's such a struggle for us to find something we both really enjoy that is longer than 1 episode, right? A movie or whatever. And we both really enjoyed Mad Men to the point that we were watching 2 or 3 a night. And you burn through them quick when you go 2 or 3 a night.
I want to check out Presumed Innocent, the Jake Gyllenhaal Apple.
I haven't even heard of that.
A legal drama. I think it's based on the same Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Back in 91.
What was the Leslie Nielsen spoof on that? There was
Wrongfully Accused.
Wrongfully Accused.
It was based on The Fugitive.
Yeah.
A bunch of movies like that.
Yeah. That, and there's I don't know if it's going to be any good, and I don't really know what MGM Plus is. Is that another? I guess that's another streaming service.
It's everything.
But
everybody has one.
That Billy the Kid, people are going crazy about that. Have you seen the?
No.
Yeah.
Who's Billy the Kid?
I don't even know who's playing.
Pull Who's Billy the Kid, and I'll tell you another one that I got signed up for this weekend because I was watching an old Denzel Washington movie, The Mighty Quinn. Have you even heard of The Mighty Quinn?
I've heard of it.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I've heard of the expression The Mighty Quinn. I had never seen this. I came across it. It got great reviews, and so I end up watching it. But I somehow signed up for Brown Sugar TV.
What is
that's good
Sugar TV?
Sounds spicy.
So I am going
really
to
does.
have to sometime this week.
No, that sounds like something you shouldn't be watching.
Logging myself out of Brown Sugar TV.
Yes.
Asses for the masses. What the hell is this?
Tom Blythe, is that right? Do you know this guy?
I don't think.
Never heard of him.
Tom Blythe, Ellen O'Higgins, Daniel Weber, and Alex Rowe.
Nope.
Yeah. If that's the same one, I don't know if it's the same one, but it's on. That was on Epic, so it may be a new one. I mean, boy, we've done a lot of Billy the Kid.
Yeah, a lot.
All right, That Is Trash is presented by Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. Speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right is your one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online at mortgageright.com. Call their Birmingham office, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
That's Tom Blythe. Does he ring a bell to you?
No.
That's who it is.
Okay.
I saw a ton of advertisement for it over there, and now I'm realizing it's from 2022. I don't know why. I guess MGM Plus just brought it back. Whatever.
Billy the guy.
Billy grew up. Yeah. Billy the old man.
Oh no, it's William now.
Quinn the Eskimo. Oh, that's a Dylan song. Is that a Dylan song, Rockstar?
Probably.
That's what Chase is saying. It's a Dylan song.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. Troy says my niece-in-law just posted a picture of her and her new 6-month-old binging Bridgerton. They did it in two halves, and my wife and I, we've caught the first half of this season, and the second half is in the queue.
So you've already knocked it out?
We've watched the first half, which was only 4 episodes, and the second half is, I think it's 4 and 4 or 5 and 5. So we got the second half. It didn't drop until this past week, so we're ready to go. We were on the road, so we're ready to go for the second half of Bridgerton.
Does anybody? Is there any loss of life?
Somebody has died, but it's just natural causes. Like nobody gets killed or anything.
Yeah. Well, it's like Succession. I mean, you only had one
absolutely.
death in that.
Yeah. I hear it gets even saucier in this second.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
It's smutty enough, but
so
I
episode 1, you're getting pinned against the tree.
I know, but I hear it's getting saucier.
We're going
in these,
brown sugar.
In these second half. Yeah, you're the one that subscribed for Brown Sugar TV. Don't you be judging me over there.
I didn't mean to, man. And now I'm Googling, how do I cancel?
I don't know how it got on my bill. I didn't mean to click on that. Hey,
45 hours of watch time. I just left the TV on.
Champy's Chicken brings you this hour of the show. Sterling and the crew, they got the doors open for lunch. Great lunch right there with the chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the great po' boys, great desserts. Sterling and the crew right there at Champy's Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. Champy'sChicken.com. 4 downs when we return. Any celebrity birthdays?
No,
Neil
celebrity
Diamond's
birthdays, but I want to
today.
give you a brown sugar update, too.
Oh, okay. Brown sugar TV update and celebrity birthdays next.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Our friends at Lanyas Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Lanyas offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Lanyas sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Lanyas has to offer you.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
All right, we're about to do 4 downs. Odie's brings you part of the show. You guys will be back out there Wednesday, but anytime it's a great time to go to Odie's.
Yeah. Great place to hang out, get lunch or dinner. Rodney Davis cooking up incredible food for more than 33 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, including the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Wednesday night, we'll be doing trivia at the original location in Crestline. Newest location right there in Edgewood. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Odie's Tavern, right there in Crestline or Homewood. So here we go. With Brown Sugar, you can enjoy urban films and TV shows anytime, anywhere. Download the app to your Android device and start your free 1-week trial today. Once your trial is ended, you can continue to enjoy Brown Sugar for only $3.99 a month.
That's not bad. What were you watching on it?
The Mighty Quinn.
You get $42 a year. I mean, $42, Lance.
Yeah, but I don't know how to find, like, Brown Sugar TV.
I don't know how you found it.
Well,
I've never
I was
heard of it
looking for the
just
movie.
now.
It was one of those where I'm on Amazon Prime and I put in The Mighty Quinn and it pops up and I watch it and it's like you can watch for free with Brown Sugar. And so I was like, okay. And so when I hit it and they were like, your 7-day membership has started.
So you just
I didn't want that. You just sit for free.
Yeah, right. I would not have done it because now it's going to be a pain in the ass. It wasn't a good movie to begin with.
Oh, yeah?
It was a waste of time.
Complete waste of time?
Very cheesy movie. Yeah, Robert Townsend, he was a local, like a Rastafarian guy.
Your man.
Was not good.
All right, let's do 4 downs presented each day by Slice. 5 great Birmingham locations of Slice Pizza.
Yeah, you heard one of our listeners, viewers, went for the first time over the weekend. Loved the Hot Mama. Loved the Margarita Pizza. There's so many great specialty pizzas. Brown loves the Soul Pie.
Love it.
Stop by one of those 5 locations, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montebello, Crestline Park, now the newest location in Edgewood. Get out, see the Bajaya Brothers. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Amari Cooper, 30 years old today.
Wow. Boy, time flies, huh? 30 years old.
Better Alabama receiver, Cooper or Julio Jones?
Just in his time at Alabama? Yep. I mean, I think it was Amari Cooper, but now he was playing in a far more sophisticated offense than what Julio Jones was able to do more things than Julio Jones.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that watches just the NFL would believe you if you were like, the more productive career
was Amari Cooper. Now, the better pure receiver is Julio Jones.
Oh, Julio Jones, Hall of Famer, first ballot guy with the Atlanta Falcons. Amari Cooper, not even close.
Yeah, I would say better career at the University of Alabama only, if I'm only considering Alabama. Now, if I consider both of them, it's got to be Julio.
Yeah.
But although Amari Cooper's had a really good NFL career.
Yeah, he's had a really solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably been a top 20 receiver for a long time.
Yeah, but I would go at Alabama, Amari Cooper.
Second down.
Barry Manilow, 81 years old today.
I saw that this morning, and I wondered if he would be in 4 downs.
He made it. Barry Manilow or Halle Berry?
Halle Berry?
Yep. Better career.
Oh. I mean, better career, I think, is going to be Barry Manilow. I like Halle Berry better.
What is her signature role?
Halle Berry?
Monsters Ball. I mean, she won Best Actress for that.
Is anything after that? Swordfish?
I mean, she's known for one scene in Swordfish, right? I know she had the...
They promoted the hell out of it, and it was quick. Topless scene.
Whoa, hey, what
wasn't really impressed. That was a bad movie, too.
Yeah. I've told the story about Monsters Ball. I got it on DVD, and I just plugged a DVD player in, but I didn't have it plugged all the way in. So for some reason, I wasn't getting color. I was getting black and white because it wasn't plugged in properly.
Gosh, one of those artsy fartsy
I did.
films.
I was like, God, why did they get so artsy on this thing? It's in black and white. And I mentioned it on the show, and you were like, it's not black and white. That movie's in color. Well, was it black and white on my TV? I would go better career
I'm going to go
Manilow.
Barry Manilow, but she also, I mean, she was just in the John Wick franchise. I mean, she's still getting some work.
Yeah.
He has currently, at 81 years old, over 4 million listeners a month on Spotify.
Barry Manilow does.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 million.
I mean, is Mandy his top song?
Copacabana.
Oh, it's terrible.
Well, in that demographic, they talk about difficulties of the digital world, right?
Yeah.
Unless you just throw it on people's playlists.
I mean, there could be nobody under 60 listening to Barry Manilow on a consistent basis.
I mean, is he still on tour?
25-year-old, you don't think Taylor's all obsessed with Barry Manilow?
I bet she couldn't name a Barry Manilow song.
Got to get my BM on.
Does he still tour?
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always thought he was Martin Short in makeup. Every time I saw him, I thought it was Martin Short in character.
He looked a little like Joe Montana.
Martin Short in makeup.
Third down.
Venus Williams, 44 today. Better career, Venus Williams or Robin Williams?
Robin.
If you'd gone Serena, it's easy. I think Robin Williams had a better career than Venus, though. Yeah. A truncated career, unfortunately.
If you ever see the movie King Richard, which I don't know, I just watched it one day just out of I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was bored. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And it's really a fascinating story on Venus's role in Serena in her career. So she was obviously really instrumental in the success of Serena. Venus, for a good amount of time, was the number one player in the world.
Yeah, until her sister came along.
But Robin Williams could do absolutely everything.
He could. I mean, he had great. Everybody wanted him to be funny, but he had a wide variety of stuff he could do.
Oh, I mean, he won his only Oscar for a dramatic role, and was everything he was nominated for outside of Good Morning Vietnam was for dramatic roles.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he's not going to get nominated for toys.
How old would he? Oh, that was a terrible movie. How old would he be right now?
Oh God.
Close to, he'd be over 70, but probably 75.
I mean, would still be working, would still be in demand.
A lot of energy, a lot of drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth down.
Kendrick Lamar, 37 today. Big Drake fan, by the way. Kendrick's not. Kendrick Lamar, 37. Better career, Kendrick Lamar or Lamar Jackson?
Odom. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Thought you could go
Can't
Lamar
go
Odom.
Lamar Odom. That would be.
Lamar Latrell from Revenge of the Nerds.
I think I would go Kendrick Lamar because Lamar Jackson hasn't won the Super Bowl yet.
He hadn't done anything in the postseason,
Yeah. If he didn't win a Super Bowl,
I would go Kendrick Lamar right now at this point, but we'll see.
All right, Slice brings you 4 downs there.
Yeah, 5 great locations. Stop and see the Bajaya Brothers, local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
At the Pennant Grace on Twitter is where you follow them. They're going live at 12:15. The Meltdown live today at 2 right there on Disrupt the Media at Meltdown 247. So get that one live at 2 with Melton and Jon Lunceford. We've got fresh content up from Village Vice at War Down Pods and some content from last night still fresh right there at Roll Tide Pods. You can watch all of that on our platforms. We thank you for watching us today, and we'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Have a great day.